Take it to the next level.
A very, very warm welcome on what is a very cold day here in the United Kingdom for sure. What a weekend we had at the Players' Championship finals, but now it is time to go and spend an afternoon in the Last Chance Saloon. A very warm welcome to the tour card holder qualifier for the final three spots for the World Darts Championship for 2021-22. Jonathan Theaton alongside you. Charlie Hopper is also with us. And Charlie, I'm going to ask you a favour, mate. Would you be able to take the next few minutes? Because I'm still recovering from the drive back to Minehead, and from Minehead back to Birmingham this morning.
Yeah, it's... Look, you and Phil were amazing this weekend, to be honest. I loved the coverage that you had. Literally, what a weekend it was. It was unreal. That last game, to go to a last leg shootout as well. Oh, that was it's superb. And now that we're obviously on the brink of December, it's now the big one that's just around the corner.
And more importantly, mate, I've got to ask before we go into this sort of stuff in a minute. Are you okay? Because you're joining us because you're basically snowed in.
Yeah, well, I was meant to be at uni this morning, and we had quite a bit of snow last night, and everything that's gone on in the northeast. I was meant to cover a rugby game on Saturday. That was cancelled, so I'd done all my graphics preps for that. That was cancelled. I then said I was going to go to the football. That was cancelled. So it's been a darts-filled weekend, to be honest, mate. But yeah, it's been great, and looking forward to the next couple of hours.
Yeah, absolutely. We really are excited. You may notice things are a little bit different than normal as we go through. We're using a bit of a different streaming software, but we'll still be able to bring you all the results. I'm just doing out all the tweets and all that sort of stuff. A very good morning there. See, Liam has popped up in the chat room. Very, very good morning to you. Yes, Andrew as well. Very good morning to you. 45 entries out of 59 eligible players. Phil Wolf, who, if you don't follow him, by the way, at Philip Wolf 501 is a very, very good journalist from Germany. He's always hashtag in the know. You should follow him because he pretty much knows everything there is to know, part that Phil Bars doesn't know. I only had a little dig at him this morning because he is producing in the background. He is driven. Do you know what? I'm going to give him a shout out today. I don't normally like doing this to him, but I'm going to give him a fair bit of a shout out that he drove from Minehead to Newcastle last night because he is sorting out one of a big exhibition tonight, and that's why he's not on the live lounge this evening. Don't forget that the live lounge is going to start at the earlier time of 7 o'clock this evening rather than 8 o'clock. We were going to go for 6:45. It's not going to be 6:45 now because they pushed the draw back for the World Championships to 7:15. So we are going to start from 7 o'clock with 15 minutes on a build-up. And then we will do the full draw. We'll do a watch along with you. We'll go react for it. And then from after that, we'll be looking back at the Players' Championship finals. Because we're not going to be on, Charlie, because we're waiting for the draw to start. We'll go through the World Championship Qualifier in a minute. But that final, I don't know, genuinely, I remember saying in the press room this weekend, as when Wright bust the 129 and then missed the 6-6 for it, I just said, if it's your weekend, and I genuinely thought it was his weekend. I thought Ryan Searle was about to go and win his maiden major title, but what a weekend, and what a weekend as well for Snakebite.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you put, I don't know what time it was, you put a message in there. Is it at about 43 minutes past 10, so 70 minutes that you put when it's your weekend, and I thought, at 10:03, I thought, now that's it. That's game over now. And then he just brought it back and he didn't say no. And I thought, right, with one shot at the double up, that's serious bottle that from Peter Wright. He's played some really good darts this weekend. And look, I was really impressed with Ryan Searle as well. He's into the top 16 now, isn't he? So he keeps ploughing on, and now is the perfect time to find form.
It certainly is. And just a quick reminder, actually, because he now goes to world number 15, him and Peter Wright could actually meet again in the 4th round of the World Championships if things are working out as it would do, as all the seeds come through the way they should do. So that over 7 sets, yes, please. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later on the live lounge. It'll be Jack Garwood, Lee Boyce, and Luke Pickering that will be talking you through that world draw. Come join us back here on Online Darts from 7 o'clock. And don't forget as well, if you want to go between the two, you can watch the live league right now. And the standard of players in the live league this week is utterly stupendous. Paul Nicholson's calling it in right now for you, so you can watch that. If you want to get it, what I do is have us maybe on like one screen and then have Nico on the other, or maybe try and get like a half and half kind of thing. Technology is amazing these days. But what we're going to do now, Charlie, is turn our attention to this World Championship and then turn our attention to this World Championship qualifier. As Andrew points out rightly in the chat room, there are only 12 boards of 45 players, so it should be fast and furious, and it should be all done by 3 o'clock. Marvellous. I can then have a little bit of sleep before this evening's action. Last chance saloon for a lot of the players, mate. It really is. This is not just a day to go and qualify for Ali Pali. This is a day to save their tour cards.
100%. Look, when I was out before we came on, I kind of sat and thought, it's like when you get set a deadline for some work that you've got, and you see it all the way in the future, and you think, nah, it's fine, I'll put it off, I'll get it done before, This is it. You're now this is it. There's no other option. This is the opportunity that they've got to take. So some of these players will, they're going to feel it today, but if they can get through this, it saves their skin, doesn't it? It's last chance saloon.
At the time when Peter Wright took out that Noel Mallet to save his snaky skin as he continues to do bits. Looking through that tour card holder qualifier today, obviously the big one is Boris Kuchma. That is the big name that we need to be looking out for. He's currently number 65 on the order of merit. A win today, and he would get 7.5 grand added on to his ranking, and that could be enough. 49.5 grand could be enough to save his tour card. Also, there, Karol Sedlacek as well. I'll tell you what the players. Tell you what I'll do. I'll find Phil's tweet actually now. Where is he on my social media feed? Where is he? On. Why have you got Phil Darts 501? That's his Twitter name. And he actually said that this is the withdrawal list. So Mickey Mansell is not in. Justin Pipe is not in. So basically, Justin Pipe has said he's not going to be able to play as a tour card holder anymore. Cristo Reyes also the same. He's not there. John Worsley's not there. Barry Van Peer isn't there. Soren Lurkbacher is not there. Howard Leitinger isn't either. Kirk Shepherd isn't there. Darren Pennell, so he's definitely gone as a tour card holder, as is Wesley Harms, which isn't a surprise. And neither is Robert Marjanovic. He's not there either. Martin Luckman, which is a bit of a surprise, maybe he's not there. Danny Baggish is not there. So we will not be seeing Baggish at the Worlds, and Goldfinger, Andrew Gilding, is also not there. So looking at the big names to maybe we're going to be keeping an eye on here. Keegan Brown is not yet qualified for the World Championships. He's on board 7 alongside Andy Hamilton as well. John Henderson as well. Big Hendo, the weekendo that we saw at a World Cup of Darts is not there. He's going to be playing on board 5. Where else are we looking? Big names as well. Matthew Edgar's got an opportunity to save his tour card again today. Max Hopp as well is in with a chance of playing there again. He's not yet qualified for the World Championship. Scott Waite, Wayne Jones. Wayne Jones is always in everything. How the bloody hell is he not there? But I tell you the one thing for me, I mean, Karol Sedlacek and Jeffrey Deswan in the same section of the draw. Mike De Decker as well. Mike De Decker has an opportunity to save his card potentially this afternoon. By the way, what a trek for Andy Bolton, by the way. Having to go from Minehead to Barnsley on Saturday afternoon after losing in the second round to Vincent van der Voort. That's a big... I don't know whether that's going to be a bit of an issue for him on board 3.
Yeah, it could present an issue. Look, that's the thing, isn't it, with how far the tournament is down the country, is that people who have to travel who aren't local are under a bit of pressure. Another player that I was quite impressed with is Alan Tabern. I know he came up against Johnny Clayton in his game, and Johnny was nowhere near his best this weekend, and I'm sure he'll admit that. But Alan Tabern came very close, and if he was more clinical on his doubles, he'd have knocked out the Welshman. So, he's another person to look at. But look, there's going to be there's going to be spills all through today, and fingers crossed we see some great darts, and the person that comes out of it, as there's going to be some real moments which we look back on now, and some players will be gutted and other players will be elated, won't they, today?
They certainly will. Dirk Telnikis for the Saint, as you say. By the way, good morning as well to Philip Wolf in the chat room. Thank you very much indeed, as always, buddy, for all your work this weekend, and also for letting us know who's not in the tour card qualifier, which is a bit of a surprise. We are very, very, very close to the start. In fact, actually, Dart Connectors just said that a couple of games are starting to warm up. I wish it would warm up in my house. It is bloody freezing here at this moment in time. But please spread the word if you are available in the chat room to do so. It had so many people messaging us asking if we're going to be doing this today. So if you can get over and just say to your friends, if you want to come and watch alongside us and put your darting questions in the chat room, we will try our best to answer them this afternoon. Con says as well, hope Keegan Brown and Waite get through. That would be a big thing for them, for the pair of them. Scott Waits, of course, as Andrew's also said, Edgar and Beanie as well. That would be nice for them to get through. Where are we on this one? Dirk Sanchez says Scott Waits does it as well. Scott Waits has been pretty decent as well. I'm surprised he hasn't actually qualified for the World Championships, because I thought he started off his PDC career pretty damn well.
Yeah, he's one of those players that you know what you're going to get with him, don't you? But it is a surprise to see him within this group of players who now sort of have the last chance of getting in. You'd expect him to be there, but look, if he plays anywhere near what we know he can, I think he's got a very good chance. But he's against some really big names today, and that's the thing. Players, rather than a players' championship where you can go again tomorrow, this is it. It's all or nothing today.
It really, really is. As we say, we'll come towards that bottom part of the top 64. Boris Kuchma currently sits in number 65. That could still be a decent place. You never know what could happen. People might give up tour cards. People might change and all that sort of stuff. That's where it is at the moment. So Boris Kuchma is there in an opportunity to save his card today. Karol Sedlacek as well has got an opportunity to save his card today. Where else are we looking at? Dart Connect goes as puts the live button. Someone's pressed the button. We are warming up, and now we are underway. Dirk Telnikis against Alan Tabben starts us off on board 5. Board 8 sees Darren Webster take on Christoph Kachuk. On board 1, Martin Atkins, brackets Wigan. I know there's no brackets are gone. The divorce has gone through, but he still will be brackets Wigan to me. He takes on Gert Nentjes. Gert played some decent stuff at the World Youth Championship as well. And Mark McGeaney takes on Michael Unterbuchner. God, we'll come to your question in a minute. As he says, Dave Evans, Boris Kuchma, Scott Waits, the qualifiers to me. But I just saw Joseph's comment flash up on the screen, and he says, you think Serbian locals might have played a good part? Great player regardless. A lot of chat on social this weekend about players moaning. So here's my take on it. The players were moaning because, rightly so, it was bloody freezing in the tent. Like, whenever we walked through, it was, by the way, thank you very much, Andrew. And Andrew, to be fair, you guys, Juanita, Missy, Malachi, Reese. I know there's loads more people that have been in the chat room as well, and I'm sorry that I can't think of everybody, but you guys, everybody that's been in the chat room, particularly moderating the comments as well with us, has been fantastic. So thank you very much indeed for everything. So let me tell you this from my point of view, this, Joseph. Okay, it was very cold everywhere apart from the media centre, which was a sweat box. I can't lie to you about that. It was so warm in that building, it felt like I was in a different microclimate. The heaters were on stage at the quarterfinal, from the quarterfinals onwards. But I'm not too sure about Searle, because actually Searle mentioned to us in his interview, Charlie, that he could go home and have a sleep in his own bed, and he wondered if that was an advantage. I wouldn't say that was the only reason why he made it final, because, we've seen the last few months on a Pro Tour just how good the man's been.
He played some exceptional darts. I think he was so consistent across the course of the weekend, wasn't he? Really impressive with the way he went, and it's just a shame he couldn't get over the line. But I was really impressed by him. Heavy metal, really impressed, and just a leg that's gone in already on board 2. Mike Dideka leads Karol Sedlacek 1-0. So that's the first leg to go in on one of my boards.
That's a brutal game to start us off. That is brutal. Mike Dedecker's not too far away either from saving his card. And Carroll said that's a brutal game first up. It really is. Talking to man who needs to try and make sure he needs to save his card. He had a class as well. He had an opportunity to do so in the Players' Championships and didn't really do well. He's taking on Adam Garlas, who played some decent stuff on the Unicorn Dev World Championships yesterday. I'm trying to think of the right wording for it. Unicorn World Youth. Adam Garlas played some really good stuff, actually. Kate lost in the quarterfinals to Nathan Rafferty in that one. Gertnenchez also lost to Nathan Rafferty in the semi-final. And where was it now? It was a comment. Where was the comment? Says Piers Todd says you have to feel for Nathan Rafferty. You do. I mean, do you think he deserves a spot of the Worlds for losing that? Because I mean, it would make things a lot easier for us if there was a tour card holder qualifier. There was only 2 spots available.
Look, that was a good game as well. I think that's such a great.
Yeah.
The coverage is so good that you've got that option in between the two. What a game that was, and you kind of felt for either of the players if they'd have got beat. And he's had a really good couple of months. So it would be it's a shame, but it just wasn't there at the key moments. Super Ted got over the line, didn't it? That right at the key time, and that's in a short format game like that. You can't afford to sort of have a couple of off legs.
No, you definitely cannot. Gordon Mathers against Max Hopp's a good game, actually on board 11. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Because that boards 1 to 4 are absolutely stacked, Charlie's going to be covering them for us this afternoon. I've got the unenviable job of doing 5 to 12 today, as Matthew Edgar and Peter Jakes level up at 1 apiece there. Keegan Brown leading 1-0 against Andy Hamilton. Early stories from your boards, Charlie. I mean, like I say, that top half of the draw, that first third of the draw, as it were, is absolutely stacked.
It is. I think Mike Decker's missed darts to go 2-0 up in the game against Karol Sedlacek to break his throw. So that's now 1-0. Andy Bolton's 1 up against against Josh Payne. Josh Payne's just held his throw. Jelle Klassen's just struggling to getting going here against Adam Gaulas. Gaulas is sat on double 16 with Klassen on 90, takes out 90 and 2. So there's the commentator's curse right there. So it's pretty much level across all my boards. Well, it is level across all my boards, really. No one's sort of kicked off yet and taken control, but there's opportunities arising.
Just want to say thank you very much for watching us, Murph. It is a genuine pleasure and well done on the live league this week. The 127 in game shot call for Paul Hinks made my day. So thank you very, very much indeed for that. Right, where are we looking? I'll tell you where we'll go. We'll go to board number 10 at the moment, where Peter Jakes is carving out a break opportunity as things stand against Matthew Edgar. 148 left now for Edgar after 12, but Peter Jakes, Peter Jakes is now actually throwing. He's on throw at the moment. Matthew Edgar now has an opportunity to take out a 148 to try and break said throw of Peter Jakes. Let's see where he does. And he actually hits a 140 to leave 8. So I don't think he got a double opportunity at it. So he's left himself double 4. Peter Jakes got to take out this 113 in order to keep his throw. And he takes it out in 3 darts. An 18 dart holder throw with your opponent on 8. As we say, the Last Chance Saloon sees many, many silly and strange things go on. And at the moment, Matthew Edgar is 2-1 down there. Remember, he's got to win today. Otherwise, he will be going back to Q School. Gordon Mathers is taking out an opportunity to break the Max Hop throw at the moment. 86 left after 9. But Max Hop comes back with a 104 on that one. And now leaves himself on 104 after 12. Gordon Mathers wants 86 after 9. And he can't find a double. I think he may have gone inside on double 16 there. I'm not too sure. Max Hop, though, needs 104. San Eldino asks, how many spots are available? There are 3. They've broken them down into 3 groups today, mate. So it's 1 to 4. One person from those boards will come through Boards 5 to 8, the other ones will come through. And then 9 to 12 as well. Someone else will come through as Gordon Mathers misses 2 darts to break the throw for Max Hopp. Will Max Hopp be able to take it out? He does. He survives. It's level at 2 apiece. Charlie, what have you got for us?
Yeah, Yellow Klassen's just broken the Adam Gowler's throw. Again, both players are pretty much neck and neck in the way they're going. I mean, they've opened up in this leg, Yellow Klassen with the darts. He's opened up with 59, and then Gowers comes in with 45. So you can kind of see the game that is going on between them two. Karol Sedlacek has levelled up against Mike De Decker. Gert Nenches leads Martin Atkins 2 legs to 1. And Andy Bolton has opened up a 2-1 lead over Josh Payne and is just about 100 points ahead of Josh Payne, or he was, and that would be to open up a 3-1 lead. So some of the games are starting to materialise nicely here. A couple of breaks are thrown, pressure being asserted early doors.
Tell you who is meaning business at this moment in time. It is the big Croat. Boris Kuchma is in the mood today. Poor John Brown, as Boris just takes out a 10-dart leg to go an average 119 at this moment in time, and is 1 away from the next round. Poor John Brown. I mean, I don't feel... I'm really, really unfortunate. God, Boris has kicked off with a 180. The man is in the mood to save his tour card, Charlie.
I would not be surprised if we see a 180 today. 9-darter today, I really would not be surprised, and that would not be what God wanted to see if we do.
Say, if we get one, oh my God, Boris Kuchma's gone back to back.
No.
Surely not. What a way to start off the day this would be if Boris Kuchma, John Brown answers back with a 180 of his own. He's on 181 after 6. It's not too bad, but Boris might be about to go and ping a 141 in and hit the 9-dart finish to win the match. Surely not. Oh, he's hit a 124. I don't know whether he's missed a dart at it. I don't know whether he's missed a dart the Leicester spotted. Well, maybe he's gone. Maybe he's gone on the 70. Maybe he's gone elsewhere. Maybe I think he's gone 70, but it's an 11-dart leg anyway. It doesn't really make a blind bit of difference. A 122 average for Boris Kuchma, and that's the first person into the draw today. Boris Kuchma is in business with a 121.87 average. Ridiculous.
Absolutely. Yellow Klassen's 3-1 up now against Adam Gowless. Both players are just struggling to get going in this one, but Klassen seems to be clinical at the key time. Andy Bolton's 3-1 up against Josh Payne. Mike De Decker's 3-2 up now against Karol Sedlacek. That one's still on throw. Sedlacek just needs double 6. He doesn't take it, so De Decker has an opportunity here from 57. This would be to open up a 4-2 lead over Sedlacek. He can't take it out, so he'll come back with Karol Sedlacek on 3 to see if he can level the game up, and he's bust it. So this is a chance for Mike De Decker. In the other game, Yellow Klassen's gone back-to-back 140s against Adam Gowless. And that will be to open up a 4-1 lead. And Mike De Decker takes 40 out in 3 to go 4-2 up. And Martin Atkins levels up against Gert Nenches 2-all.
So at this moment in time, it looks like Mark McGeeney's tour card race is run as Gordon Mathers breaks the Max Hopp throw to go 4-2 in front at this moment in time. Let's take a look then around the boards for you. On board 5, Dirk Telnick and Alan Tabin level it up at 2 apiece. Board 6. Obviously, it's Stefan Siegman against Ryan Murray. That game comes up very, very shortly. Keegan Brown is currently 4-0 in front of Andy Hamilton, and Hammers hopes of keeping his tour card. Look like they could be in the mud. He might have to go back to Q School. Darren Webster as well. Remember how far he's fallen, unfortunately. Remember, he was in the top 16 of the world a couple of years ago. Made a world champion. Oh, there we go. I'm back. I'm back, I think.
Yeah.
There we go. Matthew Edgar is 3-2 up against Peter Jakes. Board 11 at the moment, as I say, Max up against Gordon Mathers is 4-2, and on board 12 it is Scott Waite 2, Zonabel 3. Great standard in that one, 105 place, 104 average. The players are definitely like playing in the lap node, realise this is the last chance saloon, but Zonabel now has a chance to break the throw.
Yeah, there's me thinking it was my computer that was going off and I couldn't hear you talking there, Giles.
Yes?
Yes, I can hear you now. On board 2, Mike Dedeka, who's averaging 93, he leads 5-2 against Karol Sedlacek. Andy Bolton's 3-2 up against Josh Payne. So some of the games are really materialising nicely. Jelle Klassen is putting Adam Gowlas to bed here. He's 4-1 up at the moment, and he just needs a run here, Jelle Klassen, if he is to progress through today.
Darren Webster's hopes of Q-School are hanging by a thread, but Max Hopp is still in with an opportunity here to try and break back the Gordon Mathers throw and get this game back on throw. Needs double top. I suspect he hasn't found it, but he finds 40 last start in hand. We will never know how far he will go and how far it took him to get out. But I think he might need to win today, particularly if players around him who are at the World Championships do well. He will have to try and get there to save his card. Wins today, and he will definitely save his card. There's no doubt about that. Scott Waite and Neil Zonabel level up at 3 apiece. Matthew Egg has been broken back by Peter Jakes now. And Peter Jakes on a 1-1-6 with an opportunity to try and take this to 4-3. Matthew Edgar must win today if he wants to try and save his card, as has Darren Webster. He must win today. Andy Hamilton's got to win today, and he's 4-0 down at this moment in time. Alan Tabben is now 4-2 up on Dirk Telnikes.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on the Jelle Klassen game, and it's both players are just putting in really poor visits. I mean, Adam Gowlas in this leg's come in with a 41 and 32. Jelle Klassen's come in with a 21 in his leg. So you can see that both players are just struggling to sort of find any momentum. But then again, Klassen's 4-1 up. So it kind of shows that the chances just aren't there for Adam Gowlas. He now needs double 18. That's to get a leg back. He does it, goes out in 1. So 4-2, Jelle Klassen leads. 4-2 also on board 1 with Martin Atkins. He leads Gert Nenchez. And Mike Dedeka is 5-3 up against Karol Sedlacek as well. We talked about that board and that draw being a nasty one. So an opportunity for him in that one.
Yes, indeed. And that then, ladies and gentlemen, is Mark McGeeney's hopes of keeping his tour card. It would have been made a massive run at the Worlds. Michael Unterbuchner goes through 6-1. And if Mark McGeeney wants to be back on the tour next year, he will have to go to the Dream Factory and I'll have to go to Q School. Of course, remember, there is still that 2-stage process for Q School. So he will qualify for the second stage automatically because he's just lost his card. But Mark McGeeney is gone. Yeah,
Mike Dedeka is sat on double 16 to round off a 6-3 victory, and it goes in 1. So Mike Dedeka is through. He's beaten Karol Sedlacek 6-3 on board 2.
That means that Karol Sedlacek will have to go to Q School. He is number 66 as things stand in the Pro Tour, or in the world, in the Order of Merit, the main PDC Order of Merit. That will not be enough to get out of the chance of getting to Q School. So he will have to go back there. That is a surprise, Charlie. People were suspecting that he might be the one to come out of that section of the draw, but a big name gone.
Big name gone, especially at the start. You wouldn't. I guess when they turn up, they'll be having such high hopes, and to fall straight away at the first game will be really disappointing for him. But Jelle Klassen is now 4-3 against Adam Gowlas. Gowlas has taken the last 2 legs to narrow the gap there. Andy Bolton's on the brink here. He's 5-2 up at the moment against Josh Payne, and Gert Nenchez has just taken another leg back against Martin Atkins. So some of the games on my board could go either way at the moment.
Big game on board 10. I know a lot of people are in the chat room looking about Matthew Edgar. He has got an opportunity at a break coming up. 101 left after 12. Peter Jake's on 202, so he needs to try and leave this handy. Well, it's not really that good. Only leaves himself at 122. So only scores 80. So can Matthew Edgar now? He was 4-2 down at one stage, and he takes out 101 with a break of throw. 5-4 in front. Matthew Edgar, once again, we saw it, what happened. Charlie, on the final day of the Pro Tour, where he made the quarterfinals against Michael van Gerwen, nearly took him out. And I don't know what is it about this time of year that Edgar really, really loves.
He's like Danny Baggish. You can't just look away from him, because you already know that he's gonna do something that sort of puts the cat amongst the pigeons. And this is an opportunity for him now to really have a get out of jail free card here, and it would be incredible if he did. But again, as you say, it's something about this time of year.
Scott Waite is currently 5-3 up on Neil Zonneveld over on board 12. And more importantly than that, Scott Waite, remember, is currently in the top 64 and potentially he would save his card. But if he gets the first round here at the World Championships, he definitely would save his tour card. So a big moment coming up there. Alan Tabin, 5-3 up right now on Dirt Townickers, and now has just gone back-to-back 140s to leave 161 after 9. You'll have 6 darts to get rid of it, but a big result on board 3.
Big result, yes. Andy Bolton has beaten Josh Payne 6-3 on board 3. Aaron Beanie and Kai Van Lung are up next on that one. Martin Atkins is now 5-3 up against Gert Nenchez. And on board 4, Jelle Klassen and Adam Gowlas. Jelle Klassen is only one leg away now, because it's not on throw, so he'll have to just wait until throw unless he breaks Adam Gowlas, who's opened up with 54. So an opportunity for Jelle Klassen to get the job done early doors here. And that game and board 1 are just into the final stages.
Just want to say very, very quickly hello to a lot of people in the chat room. We will try and come to you a little bit better. Glenn Woodage, hello to you. The Darts Guru, hello to you. Jan Schiegel, hello from Germany. Juanita's back in the chat room as well. Very, very warm welcome back to you, mate. Hello, Rose. As Matthew Edgar has just taken out another ton plus finish. I'm trying really hard not to get too excited, because I'm sure people will go fuming at me for this. But Matthew Edgar, 104 checkout with Peter Jakes sat on 44. Peter Jakes is going back to Q School. Matt Edgar can still save his tour card, everybody. What a result that is for Edgar, as Alan Tabin as well beats Telnicus 6-3 on board 5. Also as well, I just want to say that result there for Josh Payne that you called in earlier, Charlie, means that he will have to go back to Q School. Scott Waite wants 96 for the match against Neil Zonneveld to try and move forward a little bit further in the race, and he doesn't take it out. He leaves himself on double 12, but Neil Zonneveld now wants 5 after missing 3 darts the prior visit for the 5-4, and to make Scott Waite serve it out. Big moment indeed, and it goes into darts. Huge moment there. Scott Waite's now serving out, trying to serve out the match.
Yes, and Adam Gowlas has just held throw, so he's got to ask Jelle Klassen a question here, ask him to serve out the game. He's opened up with 98, as Martin Atkins has been pegged back now to 5-4. So both of those games are at 5-4 and could go either way in the next couple of minutes.
Gordon Mathers has got left himself on tops after 12 to knock Max Hopp out. Hopp responds with a 180 to leave 89. Now, this is a big moment here, because if Gordon Mathers can get this through and knock Max Hopp out, I am not so sure that Max Hopp is completely safe in the race for his tour card. Tops needed for Mathers. And if he misses, and he doesn't, goes last start in hand, Gordon Mathers knocks out Max Hopp. And Gordon Mathers can still have an opportunity to qualify for the World Darts Championship. Now, here's the interesting thing. Max Hopp's on 48 grand at 50, in 58th spot on the Pro Tour Order of Merit. Sorry, Pro Tour Order of Merit, on the bloody PDC Order of Merit. I am not so sure. I think he's 95% okay. I'm not so sure that he's completely 100% safe yet on his card. I think he might have to go back to Q School if there's a couple of decent runs. I really do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep an eye on both of these games. They're progressing nicely. Martin Atkins and Gert Nenches have both opened up with 180s. Then Nenches came in with a 140. So he's in control of this one. And we have a noble leg in the game between Adam Gowlas and Jelle Klassen. Gowlas has broke the Klassen throw. And it's now 5-all with a shootout in that one. And we may have a noble as well in the Atkins and Nenches game.
Yes, Raven Effect, as you always know, as particularly with our adverts, thank you very much to our sponsors, Windmill and Red Dragon. In particular, Windmill, choose Gary Blades, choose the Blade 6. But we go to a noble leg. No, we don't go to a noble leg because Neil Zonneveld has just missed more darts to send us to a noble leg. Scott Waits just hit a 1-3-4 to leave double 10. Zonneveld had gone round the houses on 40 last time out.
We don't have a noble. As I mentioned there on board 1, Martin Atkins takes out 56 in 2 to beat Gert Nenches 6-4. And in the game between Adam Gowlas and Jelle Klassen, Gowlas has opened up with 85 and 98, with Jelle Klassen coming in on 80. So neither player is taking control of this game.
Glenn, that is a really good point. Does Fallon have to defend what she won 2 years ago? I don't think that she does, as she's not a tool card holder. Thank you very much, Barzi. Yeah, draw for the first round. We'll talk you through that in a bit. But yes, join us here on Online Darts at 7 o'clock tonight. We will talk you through as a watch along for the draw. The draw is on at 7:15 for that one. We will have it for you. Jack Gobby-Garwood, Lee Boyce, and Luke Pickering will be here to dissect it all. They'll also be looking back at the Players' Championship finals and also answering more of your questions on a week in darts as well. That's from 7 o'clock tonight, GMT, on the live lounge. We've got 2 massive last leg deciders going on right now between Jelle Klassen and Adam Gowlas over on board 4, while on board 12, Scott Waits against Neil Zonneveld. Scott Waits has already seen a match dart come and gone. His tour card might be coming and going if he's not careful. What's the state of play, Charlie, in your game?
Yeah, after 12 darts, Adam Gowlas has left himself on double top. So he's sat with 3 darts. Jelle Klassen is sat on 58. So this has to go. There's no opportunity to miss this. Klassen came in with a 1-3-4 and a 1-3-3 to leave himself on 58. It's now the nervous wait. He's missed it.
Wow.
He's missed darts at top. I think he's probably gone inside and inside again. Is Jelle Klassen now 3 darts? He'll have to set up from 58. And I'm not sure what's happened. He must have missed because Jelle Klassen's now missed darts and left himself on double top. So he's missed a no score in that one. And now it's time for Adam Gowlas, who will have to come. It's just a madhouse now. It's both players are missing darts. And it's a nervous wait to see who. He's bust it. Adam Gowlas has bust. And this is, if you want an opportunity, this is now your chance, Jelle Klassen, to take out double top. And he doesn't. He now misses double top. So this game, neither player wants to get through. And it leaves Adam Gowlas on double 5 to round off a 6-5 victory. And it goes in 1. So Adam Gowlas has beaten Jelle Klassen 6-5. And both players had about 6 darts at a double there.
Jelle Klassen will be heading back to Q School. There is no doubt about that. Scott Waits, meanwhile, lost to Neil Zonneveld 6-5. Now, the problem with this, for Scott Waits' point of view, is that he is currently number 59 on the Pro Tour, on the PDC Order of Merit. I need to get the Pro Tour Order of Merit out of my frigging head. Scott Waits is on 59 on 46.5 grand. Again, like Max Hopp, he is definitely not safe. He's 1,500 quid behind Max Hopp. I'm actually going to say, Charlie, he's about 70%. I really think so. Because if people have decent runs at the World Championships, he could be in the mud and he could have to go back to Q School. That is going to be a long December. He'll be a long December 100% for Scott Waits.
Well, that's the thing, because obviously you mentioned at the start of the show when you said about all the seeds getting through at the Worlds, and if we see all the seeds getting through, I'd be very surprised, because we always have a surprise. We always have a shot from somewhere that when players come out of nowhere. So you know, you never know. You'll just be hoping that that no one does have a run that'll affect him.
Raven effect now. Let's not go down that road. Banco, as Alejandro rightly says in there, is Darts Connect. If you want to join us on there, you can watch it. We're just watching along with you. That's all we're doing. We don't really see any of the games. We just see what Dart Connect tells us to see. Michael Unterbuchner is now currently playing Steve West in the first game on board 9. Where is Steve West on the tour card race at this moment in time? Where is he? Oh, he's 52, so 58.5 grand. So he's pretty much safe anyway. I think he'll be fine in the race for to keep his card, even if he loses this one. So there's that. Right, where are we looking? Board 6 at the moment. Go on.
No, I was going to react to some other news that had just come up on my phone about Amir Khan and Kell Brook.
Oh, right.
Setting the biggest rivalry. So I just thought I'd put that out there in case you'd missed it or anything that's just come up. But yeah, Kai Fan Lung's 2-0 up now against Aaron Beanie on board 3. Steve Brown and Gary Blades tied at 1-1. Jeffrey Deswan's got a big game against Martin Atkins coming up on board 1. And on board 4, David Evans will play James Wilson. So those games are about to get started or start to warm up in the next couple of minutes.
Indeed, Ryan Murray leading 4-3 against Stefan Seatman at this moment in time. Of course, Ryan Murray played MVG last year at the World Championships in that round 2 game. Really good game, actually, that one. Murray playing 3-1, losing 3-1, but he played very, very well indeed, did Muzz Lightyear. Where are we looking? Nick Kenny, remember, of course, he needs to try and do some bits today to keep his card. Brett Clayton, 1-0 in front on him. Jack Main leading Jake Jones by 1-0. Jesus Noguera leading Kieran Tehan as well, 1-0. Wayne Jones and Gert DeVos have just got underway. And Wayne Jones, honestly, I'm surprised to see that Wayne Jones didn't qualify for the Grand Slam. He's there every year.
That's the thing, isn't it? You expect these players to qualify, and you know he's been there. We've seen him we've become so accustomed to seeing him at these big events, and you know for him not to make it is a surprise for us all. In the game between Kai Fan Lung and Aaron Beanie, Lung needs double 14 to open up a 3-0 lead, and it goes in 3. So he leads 3-0 against Aaron Beanie. Martin Atkins and Jeffrey Deswan are warming up as well as the game on board 4. Steve Brown is still 1-1 at the moment with Gary Blades. Both players look like they're struggling to get over the line in that one. I don't even want to tell you how many darts they've so far had in this leg, but it's still 1-1 in that one.
Andrew and Glenn has also made the same point that some of the players would probably make a better living if they weren't on the Pro Tour, via our league, Challenge Tour, WDF. If you're that standard, then you probably actually earn more money. Indeed, you know what? I mean, Barzi could put this in the chat room in a minute, but I mean, the winner of our league, the Champions Week isn't too far away, remember, of course. The winner of that will get pocket themselves 10 grand. You know, in order to do that for these players who are in the 64 to 128, they've got to go and win a Pro Tour. And that ain't happening with the top players playing around them. That's the reason why they're here. So this is where I do implore the PDC at times to be a bit more free with some of the picks. Like, if you're in the top 64, I totally understand you should just be able to play PDC events only. I get that, right? But for me, if you're in the 64 to the 128, I think you should be allowed to play on other events, because there's no point you just playing on a 64 or a 128 and just getting smashed every week. Yeah. So let them play in the live league. Let them play in the MODUS, in the WDF events. Let them play on the a bit further than that, because there's no point them basically not being able to earn a living, and then we bash them for not turning up to Pro Tours. Like, I mean, I get it, and why you wouldn't want to turn up to Pro Tours. You're just gonna get bashed off the board.
I agree.
So PDC, so Barry, if you're listening, let him in the live league. It'd be great to see him, and also promotes your product as well, for Christ's sake. So not like you need it, of course.
The worst thing on a players' championship like that is a player who's really struggling would then draw against, I don't know, MVG, who's been absolutely relentless in the Players' Championship, especially early doors. He seems to just go through anything that's in his way. So you come up against that, that's first round done. You're finished. So, you make a very, very, very valid point. It's 3-1 now between Kai Fan Lung and Aaron Beeney. Beeney's got a leg back in that one. And Gary Blades leads 2-1 against Steve Brown, as well as David Evans has just kick-started against James Wilson.
Terence says Ted Evans won the Youth Worlds. Is in the actual Worlds as well. Yes, he is. He managed to qualify on the last day with a bit of a run, did Super Ted. He's on the Pro Tour Order of Merit. He will be in that 96. We need to find 3 more players. That is why we're here. If you are just joining us, this is the Talk Hard Hodder qualifier for the World Darts Championship of this year. The draw is being made at 7:15 GMT this evening. You can join us for that here on Online Darts from 7 o'clock. We'll be watching along with you. Jack Gobby Garwood, Lee Boyce and Luke Pickering into the live lounge as well. Hope that you can join us for that. Jamie says, I speak so much common sense. Wow, that's the first on this stream.
Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see draw tonight? If you got an idea of who you want to be put together?
I'd have to really have a proper look at it. I mean, I'd love to see. I tell you what, you go through some scores and I'll have a look. And you know what? Everybody else in the chat room, if you want to come up with your dream scenarios of draws as well tonight, let us know. I'm just going to have a quick look and see who's qualified from the international series and see where we go. Yeah, of course. Baggish is in the Worlds, according to Wikipedia. Came through the CDC. I didn't know that. Go on, you go through some scores, Charlie, and then we'll try and get everybody else to get their stuff in there. Yeah,
there's plenty still going to. Obviously, Michael Buckner on your board 9. He's 4-0 up against Steve West. He looks in incredible form at the moment. Michael Buckner, he seems to be going really nicely. Kai Fan Lung's now 4-1 up against Aaron Beeney on board 3. So he's opened up a nice, comfortable gap there. Wayne Jones is 2-0 up against Gert de Vos. We have a Noble on board 6 between Stefan Siepman and Ryan Murray. So that one's to keep an eye on. James Wilson's also took the opener against David Evans as well.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, Vincenzo says yes, it is not Baggish. Yeah, I put in the 2021 World Championships and it came up with last year's one, so forgive me on that one, everybody. Curtis asks, can Fallon versus Lisa happen? No, it cannot, because they're both qualifiers in the international qualifiers. So what happens is, if you're new to the darts, sorry, again, load of people here are probably watching it and are very fancy darts. We do get a lot of people asking us these questions, so sorry in advance for this. What happens is that the Pro Tour Order of Merit has 32 players that qualify. So the top 32 players in a Pro Tour Order of Merit that are not already in 32 for the Order of Merit, the main Order of Merit, so I'll start that again. The main Order of Merit gets a bye through to round 2. So they're automatically into round 2. So if you're in the top 32 of the main Order of Merit, at the end of the day, you are a seed and you get to go to round 2. Lovely, happy days, well done to you. The Pro Tour Order of Merit is by the players that are not in the top 32 of those main Order of Merit, but are qualified through their performances on the Pro Tour, on the Players' Championships and the Euro Tour. So the top 32 of that will then play 32 international qualifiers. That is made up of loads of different things. So from Sweden, for the Nordic and Baltic, the Dev Tours, Challenge Tours as well, the Asia Tour, more Lawrence Larkin. I am so happy. And they all play each other in round 1 over a best of 5 sets game. The winners of that will then play the seeds in round 2. So then it goes into the top 64 and then it goes into the top 32. And then if all the seeds come through, 1 plays 32, 2 plays 31, and so on and so forth, and all that rest of it. All of them come through. And then, the semi-finals happen and the final happens. And one of them is William Hill World Darts Champion. Well done. Happy days. £500, 500 grand in your bank account on January the 3rd. Yes. So Daz asks Peter Wright Fallon, do you know if that could happen? It can, but it would have to be Fallon plays someone in the Pro Tour Order of Merit, and then they're drawn against Peter Wright in round 2. So the winner of that would then go into round 2 and play Peter Wright. That's how it works. Also, as well, do you think the field is going to be 128? I don't know. Because it all depends on what the broadcaster wants. And if the broadcaster wants it, it'll happen. If the broadcaster doesn't want it, it won't happen. That's how it works. However, there could be a new broadcaster soon. Well, I think there will be anyway.
Yeah, Alan Tabbins opened up a 2-0 lead on board 5 on your board against John Henderson. Jeffrey Deswan is leading 1-0 against Martin Atkins. Michael Hunter Buckner couldn't get the bagel done against Steve West. He's 5-1 up. Steve Brown's 3-0 with Gary Blades, and Kai Fang Leung has opened up a 5-1 lead over Aaron Beanie. So Aaron Beanie is facing an early departure here against Kai Fan Leung.
Liam asks, how many have to qualify today? Please don't apologise for asking these questions. We always try and help. We're not going to go, how dare you ask these questions? People don't know these things sometimes. 3 qualified today, mate. They're split them into 3 sections. Boards 1 to 4, we'll see 1. And then board 5 to 9, we'll see another person. Sorry, board 5 to 8, we'll see another person. Then boards 9 to 12, we'll see another player come through. Do you think that it's the right move that one player has to play twice on the opening day of the Worlds? Asked Philip. Again, it's the broadcaster, isn't it? That's the way that they want to do it. I mean, they used to do back in the day. Obviously, they used to have those preliminary rounds. It was only like first to 4 legs or first to 3 legs or something like that. Whereas you're playing a 5-set match potentially and then asking to come and play another 5-set match later on, that's ridiculous. But I don't know is the God's honest truth. There's simply the West is gone. Michael Unterbuchner is in the mood today. He comes through 6-1 against Steve West, and another big name is gone. Now, Westy is on 58.5 grand. I think that's absolutely fine. I don't think there's any danger this year on him losing his tour card. But Michael Unterbuchner, where the blooming hell have you come from, lad? Deciding to go. I mean, I doubt, unless he goes an absolutely ridiculous run at the Worlds, I doubt he's going to go and win his tour card back. Keep his tour card, excuse me. But he will be into the next rounds of this championships. And remember, he's got an opportunity now. He's into the top 12. So it could be very, very soon. He could be actually 2 wins away from keeping from making the World Championships.
Yeah, Kai Fan Leung's 5-2 up now. He'll have an opportunity to serve out a 6-2 victory over Aaron Beanie. Jeffrey Deswan is in the mood. He's averaging 1-2-1 against Martin Atkins. He's 3-0 up. He's had to wait for his opportunity to play today, but he's in some serious form to start off with at the moment. Steve Brown and Gary Blades are also locked at 3. All James Wilson is beating David Evans 2-0 as well.
John Henderson is in a bit of trouble. Dan asks, has anybody won a TV title and failed to qualify for the next Worlds? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I'm sure that Philip in the chat room, or another couple of people in there, Andrew might know as well. Can't think of anybody straight away off the top of my head. But let me see. Where is Hendo on the tour card race? He's not that. Yeah, he's on 48.75 grand. Again, 95% certain to keep his card, but not that much if he does lose today. Yeah, Phil makes a good point. To be fair, the draw goes wrong. They could lose 2 of Gezi, RVB, and Fallon on the opening night. RVB versus Fallon in round 1, and then they play Gezi. Yeah, that could be interesting. If that draw does happen, then goodness me, I was sure the hand warmers aren't too sure exactly on what draw to come through. I'm joking, by the way, before anybody suggests that I'm taking the mech and all that sort of stuff. Brock also says John Norman Jr. against Mervyn King. Oh my God. John Norman Jr. against Mervyn King. Please, if there is a God or a religious symbol, please let that be a thing in round 2. Oh my God, please. Right, where are we on this? I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to watching. I want Lawrence Largan. I'm looking forward to seeing Lawrence Largan, and I'd love to see him play someone like an Adrian Lewis because of the complete clash of styles. I'd really be interested to see that. Matt Campbell as well is another one I'm really looking forward to watching. I'm looking forward. I really want to see Matt Campbell against Rabi John Rodriguez. I think that would be a really, really good game. Looking at it, John Michael, of course, has come through the Southeastern qualifier. We get to see that walk on. get in. Again, there's so many great games. I mean, what the thing is, obviously, now with the extension to the 96, Charlie,
Yeah.
the Pro Tour Order of Merit against the international qualifier sometimes can't really throw up too many great games. It all depends on who they play next in round 2, with the winner coming through that.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think someone said in the chat there they'd love to see Snakebite versus Jackpot after this week. I'd like that. But,
I am. Aidy's off. Aidy's not a seed, is he?
No, and
I am round 2.
I am hoping that Glenn Durrant gets a nice easy draw, to be honest, because I really feel for him at the moment. So we'll see what his plans are after the Worlds. Jeffrey Deswan's 3-1 up now against Martin Atkins on board 1. Kai Fan Lung's now 5-3 against Aaron Beanie. So he was 5-1. Aaron Beanie's just starting to pull it back a little bit, and James Wilson's 2-1 up against David Evans.
Yeah, Paul Lim against the German, against the Fabian Schmalzer. That can only happen, I think, if they would come through like a round 2, round 3 kind of thing, unfortunately. So they'd have to come through round 1, come through round 2, and then play against each other maybe elsewhere in round 3, because they're both international qualifiers. So they can't play against each other, unfortunately. But it would be nice. Where are we as well? John Norman against Gerwin Price. Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? If Norman came through that one. The amount of roaring in that game, the amount of testosterone, the jug chesters might be out there. To have a look and see how much testosterone there would be on that stage. It would be ridiculous. Right, where are we on this one? Keane Barry against Danny Lorby as well. That could be an interesting game. Oh, yeah. That would be really interesting. Barry Keane played some really good stuff yesterday. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be in Reds yesterday to watch most of the World Youth, and Barry Keane was playing some really good stuff yesterday, and deserved a bit. Deserved to do some bits. Kieran Tian's come from 2-0 down against Jesus Nogueira now to make it 5-2. He's on 5 on the spin on board 8. As we have a result on board 3, Charlie, I will let you finish off your crisps or whatever you're chewing over there first before you go into talk about it.
Yeah, I was eating some little milk chocolate animals, actually.
Ooh, I haven't seen them in a while.
Got on sale in Lidl, so if you fancy a trip to Lidl, it's a good one to get.
It's an underrated one.
It is, yeah. Kai Fan Lung got the job done on board 3. Really impressive, actually. He's broken Arabini's throw. He was threatening to come back in that one, and that sets up a mouth-watering tie between Andy Bolton and Kai Fan Lung on board 3. So that'll be a great game to watch. Jeffrey Deswan as well. He's 4-1 up now against Martin Atkins. So you'd expect him to get the job done there. Gary Blades is 5-4 up against Steve Brown. And it's neck and neck between David Evans and James Wilson. They're both at 2-all. So that game could go either way as well.
Are you on the San Miguel, by the way?
Me?
Yeah.
Someone said I was on a spritzer as well. It's just iron brew.
Have you turned Scottish because of the snow?
Oh, I love iron brew.
Oh, Jesus. God. Where's Scott Mitchell when you need him? He'll be absolutely all over there.
Wow. I hope they sell iron brew at Leeds. I'll be on it.
I don't know whether Dan Simpson's watching, because he's got to try and get back from Minehead last night. Was watching the Madness tribute act. Raven Effect. What would happen if Fallon got drawn against Ted Evans again? Would he win this time? Personally, I wouldn't think so. No disrespect to Ted, lovely bloke, and fantastic to him to win the World Youth at the final attempt. But I just think that Fallon, since that she's gone on and did what she did, as Nick Kenny, by the way, beats Brett Claydon 6-4 on board 10. So that's a big win there for Nick Kenny. Because she's gone on and doing what she's done, obviously Grand Slam quarterfinal, she's won the England Open and all that sort of stuff. Jake Jones beats Jack Main 6-4 as well on board 11. I think that Fallon is now a better player than she was 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, she did brilliantly. Yeah, okay. Grand Slam quarterfinal against Peter Wright. Again, it's not a one-off anymore. You know, what she did to take out the 170 against Clements was brilliant. And I'm not saying that, you know, and everything like that. But I just don't think that Ted would have the game to compete with Fallon at this moment in time, because he hasn't played enough on the stage for me, Charlie. Whereas Sherrick's obviously been going from strength to strength.
She's she's really going from strength to strength, isn't she? And I doubted her at the, with the 170 against Clements. That was absolutely incredible. I will never forget that moment because that was quite incredible. And I think she would get the job done against him. Jeffrey Deswan, who's looking impressive at the moment against Martin Atkins. He's 5-1 up now against the Englishman. Gary Blades is 5-4 against Steve Brown. Just waiting for that game between Kai Fan Lung to get underway against Andy Bolton as well. So a big name in there is going to go away early doors. And James Wilson's now 3-2 up against David Evans.
Welsh Rabbit, no problem, mate. Thank you very, very, very much for watching. It's got to be close to midnight over there, hasn't it? Over in Auckland at this moment in time. But you, Juanita, as well in Australia. We've seen her in the chat room as well. You guys have been brilliant. I don't know how you follow this sport at that ridiculous time in the morning for you guys, but we really do appreciate it. Liam says, are the semis of this up to 7 and 8 legs rather than 6? I don't think so. I don't believe so. I think it's all first to 6. I hope it is anyway, because it'd be nice to get a little bit of sleep and go and get some shopping in before the World Championship draw later on today. John Henderson against Alan Tabern, as we've talked about this. Jamie, let's just say, Jamie Jobber says, Selk almost caused Sky major Premier League headache last night. Look, no disrespect to Ryan Searle, because actually, in terms of a game, I wouldn't mind him in the Premier League because he's a very, very good darts player. However, if he was to go and win the Players' Championships last night, Big Boss Bez says, well, good love from Sydney, Australia. Thank you very much as well for watching, mate. If he was to go and watch, if he was to go and win the Players' Championship finals last night, I think rule number 1 would have come in. Big result though on ball 2, mate.
Wow. In a noble leg, Gary Blades has come in with 140, 180, 134, and then has taken out 47 in 2. So he's got the job done there against Steve Brown. That was impressive, very impressive. Jeffrey Deswan's now 5-2 up against Martin Atkins as well. James Wilson's opened up a 4-2 lead over David Evans. But what a time to strike. It was just like Peter Wright last night in the last leg with a 180 straight off the start. That is the perfect start, and what a time to get it.
Steve Brown will have to go back to Q School. Martin Atkins, brackets, Wigan would have to go back to Q School, as you say. Jeffrey Deswan is there. But also, John Henderson is gone. He loses 6-1 to the St. Alan Tabern. Now, Hendo's on 48.75. We talked about Max Hopp being 95% there. I'd say John Henderson's 97 to 98 probably percent being able to keep his card. But he may have to go back to Q School if there are some big runs at this World Championship. Steve Brown will have to go back to Q School if he wants to participate on the rest of the tour for the rest of this, from 2022 onwards. He'll have to go back to Q School, but I imagine he might be too busy with MAD and with the JDC. We're doing some fantastic work with both of them. Dylan says a Price versus Wright final. No, I don't think so. But I'm going to say my predictions until I work out who else is rare else in the draw and all that sort of stuff. And I'm sure there'll be some early Worlds predictions on the live lounge later on today. Jack Cobbegal with Lee Boyce, Luke Pickering with you from 7 o'clock GMT. So in around about 6 hours' time, we will be having the draw for you for the World Championships. Join us for that. 7:15, it's going to take place on Sky Sports News. Hendo winning a TV title this year, not an Ali Pally. Not sure if that's ever happened before. I can't think of anything. If Philip Wolf, you're still in the chat room, mate, you probably know this more than I do. Try and see if we can find this. Jesus Naguera wants 55 to knock out Kieran Tierney, and he's missed. Oh, he's missed. He's blinked. Now then. Opportunity for one of these to try and continue to save their card. Kieran T wants 66. Did okay yesterday at the World Youth. And he takes out 66 last start in hand. Jesus Nogueira's going back to Q School if he wants to try and return to the PDC Tour. Kieran Tian stays alive. Remember, of course, he made the World Championships in 2020, beating Ross Smith on that occasion. He has an opportunity once more to go back there next time out. Peter Hudson is looks like he's about to get over the line against Eddie Lovely on board 7. It's not a lovely day for him at this moment in time. And Wayne Jones, 5-4, leading against Gert de Vos over on board 12. Let's have a quick look at this. Well, yeah, to be fair, Gordon makes a very good point. Scott waits after winning the Grand Slam. Yes, very good point. Philip, anybody who's won a PDC tour, a PDC televised title, and not made the Worlds the next year, as in like the same year, that's what I mean. Because Hendo, with the World Cup, didn't quite has not made Ali Pali. Can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there we go. Right, where are we looking? There was another result that just flashed up on the screen that had just gone. Have a quick look at that.
James Wilson's just taken out 25 in 3 to hold throw and go one leg away from knocking out David Evans there. On board 3, we're just waiting for Kai Fan Leong and Andy Bolton to get going. That's a mouth-watering clash. Both players playing really well. And we'll keep an eye to see if James Wilson can get the job done against David Evans.
Wayne Jones beats Gert de Vos 6-2. Gert will have to go back to Q School later on. Jungle Boys, Yellow Clarkson, no, he's not. He has failed to qualify. He will have to go back to Q School. Benzai says, World Cup's not ranked. No, it's not. Thank God. But like I said, trying to think of anybody who's won any televised title. Yeah, to be fair, Pierce makes a good point. Could be Kevin Pater, Paul Nicholson, or Colin Osborne. Yeah, it could be. Not sure. Philip will have a look for us, and like I say, he can't think of anybody. So that's how we go. Oh yeah, Gert won't have to go back to Q School. No, you are right. No, I keep thinking he's won it in 2020. No, he won it this year. So no, he won't have to go back to Q School. Thank you, Vincenzo. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. It's been a long weekend, as you can probably tell. Where are we then? Boris Kuchma against Ryan Murray, starting up on board 6. Big Bad Boris averaged 121 in his first game, but Ryan Murray now 2-0 up. Daz asked what the numbers mean in brackets. They've got to be seeds then, haven't they, really? They've got to be the seeds on their board. Got to be. I don't know. Right, where are we looking? We'll tell you what, mate. We'll go to you on board 4. David Evans against James Wilson.
Yeah, both players. It's pretty much neck and neck, really. Oh, wow. Okay, as I spoke and said that, James Wilson's just taken out a 1-3-6 to win the game 6-3. That's not too bad with David Evans sat on 63. So James Wilson's got the job done there. Mike Dedeker and Gary Blades will play against each other on board 2.
That's not nice, is it? That's not nice, Johnny. It's not nice. That's not a nice thing to say, is it? That's just awful.
I don't think there's any need for that.
Yeah, well, you know, if you don't like it, go away. Boris Kuchma is Ryan Murray 3-0 in front, but Ryan Murray now averaging 109. Ryan's doing to Boris what Boris did in his first round match against John Brown, a poor bloke. So it looks like Boris's tour card hopes at this moment in time are hanging by a thread. Moving over to board number 7 while we wait for more games to get underway. Peter Hudson now left himself on 170 to win the match against Eddie Lovely. Lovely's on 173 himself. Let's see where we go. What can Eddie Lovely do here with 173? About to say, Malachi asked, where's this been from Wilson all year? It's a good point. Pete Hudson.
He's looked impressive, to be fair, today. He sets up Adam Gowlas on board 4 next up. That's
a good game, that. I'm looking forward to that. Hudson can't take out the 170, but he leaves himself on 92. So Eddie Lovely now on 116 to try and take this game and get the game back on throw. Let's see where we go with this. And I think he may have missed a dart at 16s because he left himself on 32. Can Peter Hudson, can The Rock hold throw? Left on 92. And he misses. I think he's gone inside on 16s as well. Leaves himself on double eight, excuse me. Now back to Lovely on double 16, and he takes it out, and we are back on throw in that one. Boris Kuchmar does get a lay on the board against Ryan Murray, 3-1. But your games that are starting up over on your boards, Charlie, Mike DeDecker against Gary Blades and Andy Bolton against Kai Fan Young.
Yeah, both games are incredible. I mean, in the first game, Mike DeDecker just thrown at 130 to set up 56 after 12 darts. Gary Blades has a slimmer of hope on 127. He can't take that out. But yeah, Kai Fan Lung and Andy Bolton. Andy Bolton's just opened up with a 180 against the throw. So, you know, the opportunity is there now, but both games have got really great chances for big names to drop.
Funny, mate. I'm not being funny. This is just me being me here at this moment in time. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Look, if you think it's very sad, then why are you watching? There are loads of things to go and watch on YouTube, mate. That honestly, it's the biggest free video service in the world. We do it because people want us to do it. Hence the reason why so many people are watching. So if you don't like to watch it, you know where to go. You know where the door is. I'm very tired. I'm not in a good mood. I'm not in a mood to mess around today. Ta-ra. Right, moving back on to what we're all here for, everybody. That is the darts. Ryan Murray 4-1 up against Boris Kuchmar. That is a surprise after what happened to Big Bad Boris. Maybe he did all of his work in one effort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've just having a look at the Mike DeDecker game, and I think it's both players have had darts at a double there. Gary Blades has bust his opportunity, and Mike DeDecker takes the opener. So both players struggling to get over the line in that one. Andy Bolton needs 96 with Kai Fan Lung on 120. So there's an opportunity here for a break of throw early doors against Kai Fan Lung. We'll just see if he takes this out, or whether Kai Fan Lung will come back for a double 10.
This is actually quite funny. I completely forgot about this. Ryan Murray, yeah, good point actually just made. Ryan Murray's taken out 157 to go 4-1 up against Boris Kuchmar. That is ridiculous. Also as well, thank you very much to everybody that's commenting nice stuff on the stream. Look, we're all here for, we can deal with disagreements, but if you don't like watching it, you know where the door, you know where the door is. Yeah, to be fair, Vidit Walks makes a good point. Would it be better for the likes of Hop Hendor waits to lose their tour card this year? They wouldn't have a chance to keep it next year. I don't know, because I don't know, to God's honest. Because if they do some bits on the Euro tours and fly a Pro Tour Order of Merit, then they could be in with an opportunity to make the big events. That's the only thing about this. Dylan asks about Wright and MVG and whether MVG that loss will affect him. Well, he's 0-3 against him now in his last games against him on the telly box. So I don't know. Look, PB will know a little bit more than I will because he talks to MVG a little bit. Let's just go on this, Charlie. I don't think that everybody's getting a little bit. I think everybody's getting a little bit ahead of themselves because MVG's not had a bad year. Look, he's had a bad year by the standards that he set in 16, but we'll never see that ever again. We'll never see that sort of domination of a year like MVG did in 16 again because there's just too much competition at the top of the sport now. But I don't think he's had that bad a year. He's made a World Match Play semi-final, UK Open semi-final, Premier League semi-final. World Grand Prix didn't do well in, yes. Euros, can't remember. No, Euros, he made the final against Rob Cross. Won the Nordic Darts Masters. I actually still think, I'll say this now, I think that this is genuinely, I think he goes and wins the World Championships. I really do.
I'd like to see it, to be honest. He's been playing really, really well. And the Players' Championship ones that I've followed the last couple of weeks and months and so, he seems to just play so well, and then he comes up against a ton plus average, and it just throws him, and he can't seem to get over the line. But look, he's really impressive, and I'd hope he would get through the Worlds and have a good run in that.
So, by the way, quick question, quick thing for everybody else. We are literally, and I mean this, 9 subscribers away from 17,000, which would be fantastic if we can get there today. So, if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do. It really makes a massive difference, and it'd be great if you could do so. Thank you very, very much indeed. We're 9 away from 17K. Can we get there before the end of the stream? I hope we can. Daniel from Romania, very, very warm welcome to you, mate. He says, do you think a woman could ever win the World Cup? I don't know whether you mean the World Cup of darts or whether you mean the World Championships, but yes, I do believe that. I think that Fallon could make the World Cup team. I think that if she makes the talk, if she wins it, if she gets a tour card, I think the rules will be changed, and Barry will use rule number 1 and will put Fallon in the World Cup because it would do numbers for him. And as we all know, he likes a pound note. Can she win the World Championships? Can any woman win the World Championships? Absolutely. I think what's going to happen though, Charlie, is that people will talk about darts being a meritocracy and all the rest of it, but the women's game is so far behind the men, about 15, 20 years away behind the men. They have to play each other to get to that standard. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I see exactly what you mean. And there's only, in the women's game, there's only a couple, isn't there, that are really standing out at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, Dita's also doing some bits as well, to be fair. Let's not.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, both of them. But also Fallon and Lisa and Dita as well. But they need to. But the women need to start playing the likes of Fallon, Lisa, Dita, Lorraine Winstanley, Mikura Suzuki.
Yeah.
In order to get to that level.
Yeah, definitely. And look, the great thing for the game of the women's darts is there's a front runner now. Every single woman who's playing now will have seen what Fallon's done. They see what she's doing. She's setting the level, and hopefully it continues.
So Peter Hudson beats Eddie Lovely on double 4, wins that match. Boris Kuchmar, though, is fighting back against Ryan Murray. Muzzle light, it was 4-3 up. It is now, 4-1 up, excuse me, averaging 109. It is now 4-3. And as I said that, thank you very much, everybody in the chat room. Oh, we're 1 away. We're 1 away. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. We're hoping that a couple of others might do so. Join us in subscribing. Be nice to be part of it all together. Robert says, what are your opinions on Does It? Is he finished? Do you think he can find some form, or do you think he may give up his tour card? Look, I honestly don't know. Is the God's honest truth. But if he does give up his card at the end of this year, for me, Charlie, he's had a fantastic career. Everyone can make whatever they want about the world, about the BDO World Championships and all the rest of it, right? But he still won 3 of them, 100 grand. He's then gone and won each at that point. He's then gone and won the Premier League as well, 250 grand. And he's made a lot of money on darts and all that sort of stuff. He can retire comfortably knowing that he is a 3-time world champion. And also, as well, he's won a Premier League. I mean, look, you know me on my stance of the Premier League, but it is what it is, And I think that he would be going down as one of the really good players in the sport. I think he would go down in the history books. He has to. He's the only person apart from Bristow to win the BDO World back to back. Yeah,
I agree. Look, I'm a huge fan of Dozer. It's hard to see him like this. I mean, I met him I was in Greece on holiday once. He was there with his wife, and ever since then, I've just been a huge Dozer fan. But it's going to be a tough one. Whether he still believes he can turn it around, I think that's going to be the decision that he has to make. Does he feel like there's something there that's going to get him going again? I don't know, and we'd all be obviously disappointed to see him go. But I'm sure he'd be able to. If he left, he'd keep his head held high. Kaifang Lungley 2-1 as well on my boards, just quickly, against Andy Bolton. Andy Bolton needs double 18 to level that one up at 2-all. And Gary Blades and Mike Dedeka at 2-all as well on board 2.
By the way, Charlie, you were here the last time that we reached a massive milestone on the stream. I don't know what it is about you, but you've been there as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to the people that have subscribed just in the last few minutes, because we are now up to 17,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. And we've got so much planned for you as well, with the World Championships as well. Barzi is in Newcastle tonight. That's why he's not on the stream, because Barzi will be getting hopefully some interesting little bits from the likes of Michael Van Gerwen, potentially Joe Cullen as well, at an event in Newcastle tonight. So that's what he's going to be doing. That's why he's not on the live lounge tonight. So hopefully you can all join us again for the live lounge. It'll be Jack Cobby-Garwood, Lee Boyce and Luke Pickering talking you through the World Championship draw from 7 o'clock tonight. Earlier start than usual, and we will push it again later on. But 7 o'clock through until 9 o'clock. Join us for the World Championship draw. We would love to have your company. Boris has just taken out a 1-6-1 to get it back to 5-4 against Ryan Murray. Oh my goodness, this is incredible stuff. Gavin says, when is Q School? Loved your coverage last time. Thank you very much, Gavin. Q School starts on the 9th of January, the same date as a WDF final. Coincidence? Absolutely not. Where is this? Hang on 1 second. Yeah, where are we looking at this? Here we go. Matthew Edgar currently 3-1 up on Nick Kenny. Edgar once again looking to save his card. I don't know what it is about this event, and I don't know what it is about this time of year, but he seems to peak at the right moments, as Matthew Edgar. Boris Kuchmar's just left 64 to try and level this thing up against the throw. He's left 64 after 12. Ryan Murray's got himself 140 to check out for the match. Can't take it out. Leaves himself on 86. Kuchmar back then for 64 to send us to the Noble, which, if you're new to the channel, is a last leg decider, because George Noble always seems to be calling last leg deciders. The 11th and final leg. Ryan Murray wants 86. Fallon Sherrock took this out to beat Mensur Silovic at the World Championships 2 years ago. Can Ryan Murray take it out now to beat Boris Kuchmar and keep his chance of going to Ali Pali alive? He will. He's got to stay on the 18s, and he hit treble 18, and he went inside on. I think he's gone inside. And Boris Kuchmar's just taken out double 16 first dart. We are going to a Noble between these two. Cracking match it's been. We're looking forward to this. Charlie, what's the latest around your boards?
Yeah, Gary Blades has just bust a finish to level up the game, and Mike Dedeker's taken out 48 to open up a 4-2 lead. The game between Kai Fan Lung and Andy Bolton, neither player is letting each other go. I mean, on throw, both players are just bringing out their A game. Andy Bolton's gone 180, 137, 100 to leave himself on 84 after 9 darts. Adam Gowles and James Wilson, they've just got underway now. Wilson needs 61 to hold throw and take the opener in that one. But again, Andy Bolton and Kai Van Lung have both been really impressive. Andy Bolton takes out 84 in 3 to level the game up at 3-all on board 3. I'd love to see that one go to a Noble leg as well.
Speaking of a Noble leg, what a start for Boris Kuchmar. 2-2-1 left after 6. Kicks off with a max. Lovely. Lovely stuff. More of this. Leaves himself on 136 after 9. Ryan Murray cannot leave a finish, even with a big maximum here. Can't see what's going to happen, but he goes on to 282. So Boris Kuchmar now needs 136. He was at one stage 4-1 down. At one stage, he is now looking for 136 to go 6-5 through to the next round, and within 2 wins of saving his card. He's left himself 120. Sorry, he's hit a 120 to leave himself on double 8. So I presume what's happened is that he's gone and missed the double 8, but he's going to get 3 clear darts at it, and he'll have 6 if he needs to.
Ooh. Not sure if Gary Blades has just missed a dart for a 140 there. That would have been incredible if he has. Mike Dedeker has then missed dart. So this is a chance for Gary Blades here to break the throw and to get that game to 4-3.
Boris Kuchmar is through. He beats Ryan Murray by 6 legs to 5, coming back from 4-1 down to do so. Brilliant, brilliant stuff there from the big Croat. Boris Kuchma is 2 wins away from the World Championships and saving his tour card. Big moments there. We'll go to board 10 in just a moment, where Matthew Edgar is embroiled in a battle with Nick Kenny at 3 legs apiece there. We'll go to you, though. Mike DeDecker 5-2 up now against Gary Blades. Charlie.
Yeah, I thought Mike DeDecker had lost the opportunity to hold throw there. Gary Blades had missed 3 darts at a double. And DeDecker, who's been really impressive today, having beaten Karol Sedlacek in the last game, he's now opened up a 5-2 lead. And it's still neck and neck between Kai Van Leung and Andy Bolton. I'm really not sure which way this game is going to go. Andy Bolton's left on 52 with Kai Van Leung, who's got the darts on 62. So this really needs to go to open up a 4-3 lead. If it doesn't, you'd have a feeling that Andy Bolton may come back and break the throw.
Matthew Edgar has just been broken by Nick Kenny. He was embroiled in a battle, and a big check out for Kenny there puts him within 2 legs of going through to the Worlds. And Edgar will have to go back to Q School if that's the case. You're looking puzzled there, Charlie. Go on, mate.
Andy Bolton's had darts to break the Kai Van Leung throw and open up a lead, and he's just missed 3. I think it was 2 darts at a double, but then Kai Van Leung comes back and misses more darts. So this is the perfect opportunity for the Scotsman to open up a 4-3 lead and break the throw. It goes, so he takes double eight in 1. So Andy Bolton is 4-3 up, and Mike DeDecker has just taken out 54 in 3 darts. In that leg, he's gone 1-3-7, 1-7-7, 1-3-3, takes out 54 in 3, and beats Gary Blades 6-2.
So Matthew Edgar has had a great response on the Nick Kenny throw. 85 left after 9. Nick Kenny's left himself 1-2-1 after 12. 140, 140, 136. I think Edgar's just missed a dart at the bull for the 85. He's left himself 47. People asking, if Edgar loses, is he likely to lose his tour card? No, likely about it. He is going to.
Yeah, Adam Gowlas is 1-1 with James Wilson. That game is still on throw. And Kai Van Leung's got it all to do against Andy Bolton. He needs to break back here. And he started off with a 1-3-2. So advantage him in that game. We'll keep an eye on that one as it progresses. James Wilson is now 2-1 up against Adam Gowlas holding throw. Jeffrey Deswan on board 1 will play against Mike DeDecker. So that'll be the next game on board 1.
So Matthew Edgar takes out that 47 and is now level and has got the throw in the next 2 of the next 3 legs and kicks off 100 and 180. So 2-2-1 left after 6 from Matthew Edgar. He is hanging in there at this moment in time. So Bonkers asks quickly, you can't watch the games anywhere, like actually physically watch them, but you can follow the scores like we're doing right now on Dart Connect by going to tv.dartconnect.com at this moment in time, mate. So I'm sorry that you can't watch the games live. The PDC have not got anywhere to watch them, unfortunately, through that. So 137 left for Edgar against Nick Kenny. 4-4 at this moment in time in that one. Going round the boards for you quickly. Adam Gowlas against James Wilson. Huge game that starts off. And Charlie will talk you through that in a bit. Neil Zonnevel 2-0. Currently against Wayne Jones, as Wayne Jones is trying to keep his tour card. Kieran Tehan 3-2 up on Darren Webster. The loser of that would have to go back to the Dream Factory as well. And Gordon Mathers has quietly gone about his business today on board 11. Now 5-2 up on Jake Jones. But the big and Andy Bolton 4-3 up as you were talking there, Charlie. And he's now gone 1 away.
Yeah, he has. This is, look, both the games that are on at the moment are incredible. James Wilson is 1-2-4 away from opening a 3-1 lead over Adam Gowlas. And yeah, Kai Van Leung's only opened up with a 78 there. So he needs to now hold, throw, break, and then he'll have the darts in the Noble. But then Andy Bolton comes back with a 140. So ice cold from Bolton. Adam Gowlas is now on 83. This is just to hold throw against James Wilson, who sat on 35. So both games are starting to to progress nicely.
Big moment coming in here. Edgar's just missed 6 darts to try and win the leg. He'd absolutely smashed that leg. Nick Kenny's got 120 left to try and break the throw once more, and he has done it. Matthew Edgar has just missed 6 darts in order to try to go 5-4 up in the game, and now he is throwing for the match, and Nick Kenny is trying to keep his card. Matthew Edgar will have to try and find a way to break this Nick Kenny throw and then hold in the decider. Huge moments, this. Huge moment in the next two. That is Edgar missing 6. Oh, dearie me. You can't miss 6 darts to go and win a match. Well, to take the lead in the match. As Jake Jones has just taken out a 1-1-6 with Gordon Manders sat on 16 for the match. So that's really good. That's really good stuff there from Jake Jones, to be fair.
Yeah, it's now Kai Fan Lung's. He's at last chance saloon here. He's got to throw to stay in the game. He's on 148 with Andy Bolton on 142. Adam Gowlas and James Wilson are separated by about 30 points at 2-all so far. Kai Fan Lung gets 92 to set up of 56, but it's whether he'll come back with Andy Bolton on 142. So this would be an incredible finish. I was really impressed with Andy Bolton, actually, where he dispatched of Joe Cullen on Friday. Now it's time for Kai Fan Lung, who will have darts 56 to take out another leg deficit. It goes in 2. So Andy Bolton will have to serve for the match in that one. He's 5-4 up. Nick
Kenny has just missed double 18 for the match. Matthew Edgar has taken out tops and has broken back. And we are going to a noble leg, a last leg decider. This is ridiculous. Edgar, every single bloody year, Matthew Edgar finds a way to keep himself in the tour card race, but he's kicked off the deciding leg with a 43. That is not good. Kenny only responds with a ton. Are you close to anybody finishing? Because if not, we're going to go take this game leg by leg if you're all right.
I am. Just quickly, Kai Fan Lung's opened up with 42 against the throw. Andy Bolton's come in with 2 140 visits. So you'd expect that Andy Bolton will get this job done. He's about 140 points ahead now. And I'd expect that to be done soon. Adam Gowlas has just broken James Wilson as well.
So Matthew Edgar, what a time to not be able to find a treble. This is Darcy's nicked good. Gordon Mathers is through. He beats Jake Jones 6-3 over on board 11. But my goodness me, Nick Kenny. Bang Dog, if you are seeing the scores, it is on tv.dartconnect.com. Nick Kenny, though, only opens up with a 53. So it's 208 plays 365. Matthew Edgar needs to try and find he's only one treble, 271. Nick Kenny is well in front, plus these to come. Edgar will need a max. Oh, Nick Kenny responds with a max of his own, leaves himself on double 14. Matthew Edgar now needs to hope and pray, and he can't even find a finish. So Nick Kenny's going to get 6 darts. He only needs 1. Nick Kenny knocks out Matthew Edgar in the race for the World Championship. Matthew Edgar, prime time, will not be at the Worlds, and he will have to go back to Q School to try and win his tour card back. Matthew Edgar is out.
Yeah, and as you were speaking and we were going through that leg, Andy Bolton beat Kai Fan Lung 6-4 as I expected, with a nice 12-dart leg to finish. Alan, that sets up now for Alan Tabern on board 3 against Boris Kirchmar. So what a game that's going to be. Adam Gowlas is now 3-2 up still against James Wilson. I'd expect him to go 4-2 up in that one. And Jeffrey Deswan and Mike De Decker are next up on board 1.
Indeed. Wow. Sorry to everybody in the chat room. I know a lot of people are pulling for Matthew Edgar, but unfortunately, he will be at Q School there. No, Bob, there is no way, unfortunately, that Matthew Edgar can keep his tour card because he's so far down the order of merit. Unless 10 people pull out right now, there is no way that Matthew Edgar will not be. There's no way that Matthew Edgar will be a Tilka holder. That is it. He will have to go back to Q School. Raven Effect says Edgar for the live league. Look, it'll do numbers. Barzy, I'm listening to you, buddy. tell him in right now. Right, so Charlie's just gone off just for 1 second. We'll go through the results as things stand at the moment. Kieran Tian is 5-4 up on Darren Webster as things stand over on board 8, and he's got the breaker throw as well. So he's throwing for the match. Peter Hudson leading Keegan Brown by 1 leg to 0. Adam Gavlas beating James Wilson. Cracking game on board 4 at the moment. Board 4 sees Adam Gawlas 3-2 up against James Wilson, and Neil Zonneveld now 3-1 up on Wayne Jones as we look to the start of 2 games in the top 12. We are at the semi-final stages, the effectively semi-final stages for the World Championship Qualifier. Alan Tabbert against Boris Kuchmar on one board, and then Michael Unterbuchner against Nick Kenny on the other.
Yeah, some great games coming on nicely, as you say. Adam Gawlas is 3-0 with James Wilson. Wilson now with the throw in that one, so breaks apart in there. Alan Tabben just warming up in his game on board 3 as well. But James Wilson has the advantage against Adam Gawlas, and this will be to go 4-3 up. And we really are at the business end of the afternoon now.
Just a quick reminder, while we have, I'll tell you what, we'll go to board 8 while games are going on. But we'll go to board 8 because that one is the latest one at the moment in time. And Darren Webster looks like he's about to break the throw back. He's managed to win by 1. He's got left himself 40 after 12 in which to do so. Kieran Teen leaves himself on 76, but Darren Webster has it back-to-back 140s and then goes and hits 52 in 2, and we go to another last leg Noble decider. So Darren Webster now leading against Kieran Teen in terms of going through, in terms of getting the throw, against Kieran Teen. 5-all now. He is in that one. Cracking game, though, for you, though, Charlie, over on board 4. That looks like a belter.
Yeah, I think Adam Gawlas has just missed a dart at the bull to break James Wilson for a 130 there. But then Wilson struggled to take out 108. He's left himself on 66. So it's now Adam Gawlas who's got the opportunity to get a break back and busts 25. So now James Wilson with a lifeline here on board 4 to take out and set himself up from 66. And this will be just for a hold of throw, remember. Or will he give Adam Gawlas the opportunity to come back? He doesn't. So 66 goes in 3. So James Wilson holds throw, and 4-3 up he now leads. And just waiting on Alan Tabben's game to get started against Boris Kuchmar as well.
Kieran Tian has just hit a 177 to leave 139. Darren Webster leaves 147 with just a 54. So he needs the snooker max if he gets a shot at it. So 5-all in the last leg decider. We're coming to the business end. One of these will carry on. One of them will have to go back to Q School. There's no doubt about that. Kieran Tian leaves himself on tops. So can Darren Webster find all of the marbles and find a snooker max? 147. I tell you what, I think he's just missed double 18 for it. I think he's just missed double 18 and gone inside. Is that the dart that sends him back to Q School? Kieran Tian wanting tops. Takes it out, second dart in hand. He takes out 40. Whether he missed inside, we don't know. We will never know. But Darren Webster, because what a fall it's been for the demolition man. He was in the top 16 in the world a couple of years ago. He is now having to go back to Q School. Darts is a brutal game at times, unfortunately.
It is. Adam Gawlas responds with a 180 of his own on throw. Darren Webster comes in with a ton. So James Wilson, is 136 after 9 darts. So he's first to a finish here on board 4. And we'll wait and see whether Gawlas, who comes in with a 1-3 9. So this is just for a holder throw for Adam Gowlas against James Wilson, but both players are looking to get over the line in this one, in what a game it's been already. And Adam Gowlas will now have the opportunity from 62 to level the game at 4-all.
What's going on between Jeff Ridders-1 and Mike Decker? Why hasn't that game started warming up yet?
That game's been sat there for ages.
Has someone forgot to press the button? Ian Barnsley.
Wouldn't surprise me.
A lot of love in the chat room for Kieran Tian, and rightly so. He's a good bloke. Really, really like Kieran. Really good bloke.
Someone says the flag 2009 says, "Come on, Wilson." Well, Wilson needs 76 to open up a 5-3 lead and break the throw. It goes in 3. So ice cold from James Wilson. He now has the darts. It's his throw, and this would be to round off a 6-3 victory over Adam Gowlas. And what a performance it's been from him.
Indeed, indeed. Let's have a quick look then at board 12. Neil Zonneveld currently 5-2 up on Wayne Jones. And it looks like, though, that Wayne Jones is going to hold throw here. But he is a double break down to Neil Zonneveld. Well, he's a breaker throw down to Neil Zonneveld, as Zonneveld will have to serve it out for the match as Wayne Jones takes out 52. So it now moves to 5-3. Chat room, get your questions in. We will try and answer as many of them as we possibly can over the next couple of hours or however long this thing takes.
Who's joined us in the chat room?
Good afternoon, lad. Callan Ritz, for the World Youth. Unlucky unlucky yesterday, mate. Unlucky yesterday. Hope everything's good with you. Looking forward to the yeah. Andrew Kidd says looking forward to how Wesley Harms gets on at Q School. Well, we'll see. You know, we put out a decent statement. We understand that 100%. Cal, anybody that you particularly want in the World Championship draw this afternoon, finishing top of the Pro Tour, top of the Pro Tour order of merit, buddy? Did you stay out and watch Madness last night? Lars, is there any way I can see it live? Well, you can follow the live scores like we're doing on dartconnect.com, mate. That's what we're going to be doing. So if you want to go to tv.dartconnect.com, you can find the results there. We can't watch the actual games live, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're still waiting. Alan Tabban and Boris Kirchmarth have been warming up for quite a while, but the game between Jeffrey Deswan and Mike Decker, I'm not too sure what's going on with that one, whether or not we're waiting for that a little bit longer than we should be. But that seems to have been next up for quite a while. Yeah,
that's been. The thing is, I think what's happened is that are we waiting for all the top these top 12 games, so that way then everybody then plays at the same time? I don't know.
Plays at the same time, yeah. I wonder. But Adam Gowlas is first to a finish against James Wilson. This would be to break the throws. It's warming up.
It is warming up, mate. You got picked up at 6:30 this morning for the airport, and I got in my room at 5:45. Do you know what, mate? To be fair, it isn't as worse as somebody else who spoke to me yesterday in a World Youth Championship, who shall remain nameless, as Neil Zonneveld comes through 6-3 against Wayne Jones, takes out double 10, and Wayne Jones will have to go back to Q School. What is going on between Adam Gowlas and James Wilson? Cracking game on board 4.
It is, yes, and Alan Tabban's just set off against Boris Kirchmar. James Wilson's on 1-2-8. This would be to round off a 6-3 victory over Adam Gowlas. Gowlas is sat on double top. And we'll just wait to see what happens in this one. And it goes in 3. 1-2-8 from James Wilson with Adam Gowlas sat on double top. And Wilson rounds off a 6-3 victory over Gowlas. Impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, we all know who it is, but I'm not gonna do it, mate. I've just followed you on Twitter, so follow me back and we'll have a conversation. We're not going to out them in here. I'm sorry. I know people always like to know, but I'm not going to do people's legs in here. I think we all know what's going on. Pete Hudson and Keegan Brown is the only game going on at the moment, but Alan Tabard and Boris Kuchma have just gone live on Dart Connect. Peter Hudson 4-0 in front right now against Keegan Brown, which I think is a bit of a surprise, to be honest with you, Charlie.
Yeah, it is. Look, I kind of thought that there's one game we were going to wait for everyone else, but yeah, Keegan Brown 4-0 down. It would take a real spirited performance from him to pull away from that one. Jeffrey Deswan's opened up with a 134. Mike Dedeker comes back with a 140. So both players are starting with a high standard in that one. We still haven't had an opening leg yet in the Alan Tabern game. Both players are just struggling to get to a finish at the moment, but not sure which one. These are real coin tosses, aren't they? No one really knows which way they're going to go.
That's why it should be. That's the way it should be, especially on a day like this. Love it. Right, here we go. Peter Hudson 4-0 in front still at the moment. Keegan Brown just cannot seem to find a dart at the moment in time, but he's going to get a chance now at 82 with Peter Hudson miles back on that one. So chat room, if you do have any questions, well, we have a bit of a lull really as Hudson comes back with a 140. So this Keegan Brown's got to take this 82 out. Yeah,
and just quickly, we've had 2 breaks of throws in both the games. Boris Kirchmar's broken Alan Tabern. Mike Dedeker has broken Jeffrey Deswan as well early doors.
Peter Hudson 4-1 now as Keegan Brown does take out that 82. So chat room, if you do have some questions, while we have a bit of a lull, while we're waiting for games to move on a little bit here, put them in. We'll try and answer them. 260 of you watching. Thank you very, very much. We'd like it if you would just give us a quick like as well. That'd be fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Like I said, it massively, massively helps us if you do like the stream. That'd be great. 78 likes. Can we get it up towards 100? It'd be fantastic if you could. So please, please do so. I'm not normally begging like God does, but I'm going to at this point. So thank you very, very much indeed. And thank you, by the way, for watching us. Appreciate it. Is a Monday afternoon for most of you in the UK and around Europe and the world. It's a Monday. I know a lot of people are watching in Auckland as well. I've seen people in Auckland, Australia as well. 2 o'clock in the morning it was in Auckland. At 3 a.m. in the morning. That's ridiculous. And just as a whole, this will be one of the last times that I'm actually on a stream with OD. So thank you very, very much for everything. And we really do appreciate you watching us. So thank you very, very much indeed. How many qualified positions are left for the World Championship? This is it, Dylan. This is it. The final 3. We are drinking in the Last Chance Saloon at this moment in time. Charlie Bubb says, quick top picks for Q School. Now, this is interesting because it all depends on how far players go on the WDF as well as people in the PDC. If Rafferty doesn't got a card, has he? He didn't get a card because he didn't win the dev. Rafferty's the one I'm really looking forward to seeing. Yes, Robert. Q School is in 2 parts again, so they'll have a stage 1 and then a stage 2, I presume.
Wow. Just not to interrupt you or anything, but Boris Kirchmar's just taken out a 120 to go 2-0 up against Alan Tabern. Mike Dedeker's missed darts to go 2-0 up as well in that one. We'll just stay with him because he's on 3 at the moment. This would be to open up a 2-0 lead against Jeffrey Deswan. And he doesn't. He misses darts at a double. So Deswan will have a lifeline here to break straight back. And he can't take it out. So it's Madhouse at the moment. Mike Dedeker now on 1-1. We see players who tend to go a little bit too high, but he doesn't. He goes in 2. So Mike Dedeker has opened up a 2-0 lead, as has Boris Kirchmar, Andy Bolton and James Wilson. They're just about, they'll be getting warmed up soon on board 2. So another great game there.
So... Pete, a couple of questions then. So Nathan asks, which of the international qualifiers are you most looking forward to seeing? Right. Well, obviously I'm going to say Fallon as well. She technically is an international qualifier by coming through the ladies series. So I'm going to say that. Sorry if that's a little bit of an easy cop out. As I say, Matt Campbell, Really looking forward to seeing him after what he did at the Worlds Cup last year. Thought he was absolutely excellent. Really excited to see what he can do again. I always love Lawrence Alagan just for the pure excellence of the action. It's my favourite action in the world. Fuck, I absolutely love him. For God's sake. Danny Lorby as well last year did some bits. I'm really looking forward to seeing him again. Anybody else for you, Charlie?
I thought Matt Campbell was disappointing, but I'd like to see him go and produce what we know he can produce. But I just like the stories of people we don't talk about. You know, the players who surprise us out of nowhere. And look, Rafferty's really impressed me as well. So, you know, we'll just have to see what it comes. But what a couple of days that will be straight after Christmas as Mike De Decker opens up a 3-0 lead now over Jeffrey Deswan. So he's put breathing room between himself and Deswan, and Alan Tabern has got a leg back against Boris Kirchmar. So both games are going along at a nice pace at the moment as players get closer to that elusive spot at the Worlds.
Yeah, Anastasios makes a good point as well about Q School. Connor Scott and Chaz Barstow have been smashing it in the live league. Chaz as well, making the Players' Championship finals and the Worlds without a tour card, which is bloody brilliant. I'm not just saying that is genuinely bloody brilliant. So fair play to the pair of them for that. Chaz Barstow in particular, doing bits. Ben Robb, someone's asked who Ben Robb is. He's a New Zealand qualifier. He's made the Worlds before. I think he lost to Ron Moolenkamp, if memory serves me correctly, a couple of years ago. He's played on the Brisbane Darts Masters. Seems a steady enough player. Need to see more of him before we make a decision on him. Again, more players you need to be looking out for in the international qualifiers this year. If you like Gezi Price's antics, John Norman takes it up to 100, which I'm bloody looking forward to seeing. Anybody from those international qualifiers? I mean, Martin Schindler as well as an international qualifier as well this year, Charlie. Anybody from the international qualifiers that you think we should be need to look out from?
Martin Schindler has impressed me ever since, all the way through. He just seems to hit a decent level, doesn't he? And you know, everyone knows he's got the game in him. So I think he's got a chance, and we should keep an eye on him definitely. As you mentioned, as Mike De Decker was disappointing the last time we saw him on TV, he's now 4-0 up against Jeffrey Deswan. So Deswan has got it all to do there as Boris Kirchmar sat on double top. Doesn't get a dart as Alan Tabern takes out 120 to level the game up there, and that's back on throw at 2-all.
Keegan Brown is out. Keegan Brown loses 6-1 to the Rock, Peter Hudson, but he's going to be fine for a tour card. But I just want to say to Keegan, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know exactly what he's been doing throughout the entirety of 2021 and 2020 as well, keeping us safe, working in the NHS, and as well as alongside his wife Roz as well. Just want to say thank you very, very much for everything, and hope that we see you back to your best in 2022, mate. Thank you very much for all that you've done, certainly in the UK, for all of this. And I really, do you think that really she's a good player? I've heard. Yeah. Ridiculous. Also, very, very quickly, where are we looking here on the tour card race in just a second? Looking at the international qualifiers as well, I'm actually quite interested to see Fabian Schmutzler, the PDC, the European Development Tour player that only just about qualified for 6 events and managed to go and win them, and is now playing at the biggest tournament of the lot. Although Juanita says that Kai Smith should be one that we're looking out for, because obviously Kai Smith and Raymond Smith, both Oceanic Masters and DPA qualifiers, it's father and son playing in the World Championships together, which would be amazing. Stories like that.
They're feel-good stories, aren't they? They're nice to have, and people love it. As Deswan takes 32 out in 2 to get a leg back on the board, but Mike De Decker has the darts now to open up a 5-1 lead. Alan Tabern and Boris Kirchmar are neck and neck in their game. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier on, Andy Bolton and James Wilson will be warming up shortly, as players are ever so close to getting across the line.
They are indeed. Where are we looking? Like you say, we've got 2 more rounds for the players to win today, and they will be getting the final 3 golden tickets to the World Darts Championship. Don't forget that the World Championship draw itself takes place from 7 o'clock tonight. We'll be covering it for you here on Online Darts TV. Join Jack Gobby Garwood, Lee Boyce, and Luke Pickering for a special edition of the Live Lounge, including the World Championship watch-along draw, 7:15 for the World Championship draws. But we'll be on the air from 7 o'clock. It's an earlier start time for the Live Lounge, but join us for the watch along. You've got your head in your hands, Charlie.
I thought Deswan was going to hit a 9-darter there. He's gone 180, 180. And I was just hoping that Gob was watching, so that if that did go through, he'd have loved that. But a very impressive leg that from Jeffrey Deswan, who takes it out and breaks back. So is there an opportunity arising here as he then puts a 180 into start? So Deswan is 4-2 down. He's got the darts, and the pressure is on Mike De Decker as Alan Tabben now opens up a 3-2 lead over Boris Kirchmar.
Indeed. Where are we looking? So someone asked how the third person is picked today. So they've been split out really into 3 sections, as it were. So boards 1 to 4, someone will come through that one and will pick up a ticket. Boards 5 to 8, same. Boards 9 to 12, the same. So that's how it works, really. All 3, so they're all involved in this section of the draw, and from that section, the 3 tour card holder qualifiers will come through. Where on we? Excalibur. Nathan's playing now on the live league feed. Why no live chats? Purely and simply reason for I think it's actually for betting reasons, mate. That's the God's honest truth. So that's the reason why we can't do it. That's all it is. Copite Dave says, afternoon lads, what's your thoughts on Luke Littler qualifying for Lakeside at 14 years old, one for the future? That 9-darter at a JDC was absolutely spectacular. So there we go. I think Luke Littler's going to be talent. I think he is.
Deswan is on the charge. He was 4-0 down. He's just taken 77 out in 2 to get it to 4-3. So if he can break the De Decker throw, he'll then have the darts at 4-all to take the lead in this game. And he's really... Oh, and he opens with a 180. That's the 3rd leg in a row that he's opened up with a max. Deswan is on the warpath.
Just a quick one. Philip, why do you think that Deswan wins this game? He's at the Worlds? Because surely he had to come through the game between Bolton and Wilson, no? As number 1 seed. But anyway, I appreciate that one, mate. Just let us know in the chat room. That'd be great. Dan said, had a look, and John Henderson is the first player to win a TV title and not make the next World Championships. That's a really interesting stat, actually. It's a shame for Hendo because we all love the big Hendo weekendo. Shane, is Edgar out? Yes, he is, unfortunately. Of course, he would be the first replacement in case of withdrawal. Right, thank you. Unfortunately, Charlie, I hate to say this, but I think that Charles Losper, the African qualifier, I don't think that he will be the man. I don't think he'll be playing at the Worlds. I don't think he'll be allowed to come in. Simple as.
Wouldn't be nice, would it, that at all?
No.
But it's the times that we're in. I think is the way to. That's the way it is. I did say though that Jeffrey Deswan was on the warpath after the 180. Then I think he put a visit in a 45 and 50. So he completely surrendered that leg, and De Decker now leads 5-3. So we'll have the darts should Deswan take this leg out on throw. Alan Tabben is 3-all with Boris Kirchmar. So that game at their neck and neck. Which way will it go? De Decker only manages 57 with Deswan with 58. So both players are stuttering at the moment after the maximums from Deswan.
I'll let you carry on calling this in just a moment. I just want to say, Yorker, good luck with the Dev Tour, mate. Hope it goes well for you, buddy. Really do. Gordon Mathers against Neil Zonderveld right now happening over on board 6. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Also, will the UK shut the borders if things get worse and we'll let pro sports continue as normal? I don't know. Is the God's honest truth their own effect? Welsh Woody, do some research and listen to a few South African health experts, please. No, look, at the moment in time, flights at the moment to South Africa are not happening. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if the government are going to stop it. I'm not saying he shouldn't be allowed to come in. Of course he should be. He qualified. He's allowed to qualify for the Worlds. Like, he should be allowed to play. But what I'm saying is that at this moment in time, I cannot see the South African government, the UK government changing its stance on South Africa. That's just true. But big result on board one.
Yeah, Mike De Decker has taken 70 out in 3 and has got the job done against Jeffrey Duzwan. 6 legs to 3. Andy Bolton and James Wilson are warming up, and Alan Tabern is 4-3 up now against Boris Krčmar and has the advantage. He only trails by 50 points in that one. Both players are pretty much neck and neck, and they have been for the whole of the game. But yes, Jeffrey Duzwan is out. Mike De Decker has got through another game this afternoon.
If multiple international qualifiers had to pull out, will buys come in? I don't think so. I think they'll just get people in for the order of merit. I think. But I can't remember what the rule is on that one. I'd have to check the PDC rule book. Gordon Mathers, though, continues to do really, really well today. He's quietly gone under the radar, quietly gone about his business. 3-1 ahead against Niels Zonneveld over on board 6. Michael Unterbuchner looked like he was in the mood today. He beat Steve West 6-1 earlier on, and also beat Mark McGeaney by 6 legs to 1 as well. But he's now 3-2 down to Nick Kenny, who put Matt Edgar out earlier on as well today. Peter Hudson and Kieran Tehan have just started as warming up, though. Great game in there. Board 2. Andy Bolton against James Wilson. That should be a cracking game for you, Charlie.
Should be a very, very good game. And we're starting to come to the business end as well, as Boris Krčmar takes out 72 to level the game up against Alan Tabern. So that's what I'm trying to keep an eye on board 3. And as you were talking about just then, the game between Andy Bolton and James Wilson is underway, and Bolton gets underway with a max. So he's in the mood. Can he get through James Wilson?
Yeah, Philip says, both PB and Phil said players who lost in the final of the PDPA qualifier will come in, and Barzi says there'll be a standby list as well. So the 96 will still be a thing. Davey says, greetings from Germany. Who are the German players have a chance to qualify? Well, the only German qualifier left now, I'm afraid, mate, is Michael Unterbuchner. Max Hopp is already out. Steph Seekman is already out as well. And Michael Unterbuchner is currently 4-2 down to Nick Kenny, who is doing bits at this moment in time. Like he looks like he's in the good mood at the moment. But we've got 6 games currently going on. We'll come to you in a second, Charlie. We've got 5 games currently going on. Mike De Decker is the first player through to the top 6. He will be in with a chance of qualifying for the World Championship shortly. Charlie, to you. What are you looking at over on board 3?
I talked about Andy Bolton opening up with a 180. James Wilson then came in with a 180. Bolton then responded with a 60. Wilson came in with another 180. And I'm just waiting to see. 1, 2, 3. From James Wilson. Oh, no way. And he's got a chance to break the throw, but that was incredible from James Wilson. What a start that would have been to the game if he could have started with a 9. And now Wilson has to get the job done on double 9. He doesn't, so he misses darts at a double. Andy Bolton will have to take out 102 to get the opener in that one. Alan Tabern and Boris Krčmar are separated by only 9 points, or they were. And what a couple of games we've got this afternoon.
Indeed. We'll come back to that one in just a minute. Yeah, Joseph says about Peter Hudson plays in the local league in Salford. Still got another year. Yes, I believe he does. Did he win it? Hang on a minute. I'll find it on the tour card race. Hang on a minute. Peter Hudson. Yes, he does. He won it at this year's Key School. So yes, he does have another year on the tour. We'll go and have a look at Gordon Mathers, who's 4-1 in front now against Niels Zonneveld, and he looks like he's putting the hammer down a little bit, the Australian. Michael Unterbuchner needs to take out the biggest fish of the lot in order to try and get the breaker throw back against Nick Kenny. Can he reel in the fish? He's left 50. So I don't know whether he's just missed the dart at the ball and it's just bounced out, because he's hit 120 to leave the ball. I reckon he's had a bounce out. Kenny's back for 40 anyway, and he's missed. And he has missed. So Michael Unterbunkner now needs to find 50. Go for the ball first start. No, not in this. Definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah. To be fair, could go treble 20, treble 1, treble 19, to be fair. Could have done.
And just quickly on my game, despite having a 9-dart attempt, James Wilson lost the opener against Andy Bolton and will now be looking to respond as Boris Kurtzmar's on 140 after 9 darts. With the darts as well, remember, this is the opportunity for him. He'll have 6 darts from 140, so he can set this up, and that will be to round off the 6-4 victory over Alan Tabern.
Boris would move into the top 6 and would have an opportunity to go to Ali Pali. We'll go to you. You can call us in if you want, mate.
Yeah, well, I say he could have set himself up. He only managed 50, so he set himself up on 90, but then Alan Tabern couldn't manage a treble, and it goes in 2. Boris Kurtzmar has got the job done against Alan Tabern. He's won 6-4 on my board, and he's almost there. He's in touching distance for Boris Kurtzmar.
And the big thing about that is that if he were to win today, he would get 7.5 grand automatically on his ranking. And that would put him onto £49,500, which I think would be well and truly enough to make his tour card and keep it, and he would be fine. So this match is not just for the World Championship, it's for him to stay on the tour. I tell you what, my goodness. This is just brutal. Absolutely brutal. I love it. I love the drama.
I love the drama, and James Wilson, having had the 9-dart attempt in the first leg, missed darts at a double. He's then missed darts again at the double in the second, and Andy Bolton's opened up a 2-0 lead over the Englishman.
Just trying to quick look at the prize money. What it would be. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. Let's have a quick look at this. Yeah. 500 grand is a lot at this moment in time. This is just very, very tight now as Nick Kenny goes through. Nick Kenny's just beaten Michael Unterbunkner, so Nick Kenny's got an opportunity to keep his tour card as well. He'd have to do some bits at the Worlds, but he would still be in there. And Gordon Mathers as well. Mathers beats Neil Zonneveld 6-1, so we are down to 2 games. We are down to Andy Bolton against James Wilson and Peter Hudson against Kieran Tehan. 2 of those will qualify for an opportunity. And again, Peter Hudson against Kieran Tehan. Tehan needs to win this to try and to keep in the tour card race at this moment in time. James Wilson as well. He needs to try and find something today against Andy Bolton because he's miles away. He would definitely have to go back to the Dream Factory.
Yeah. Andy Bolton. Look, Andy Bolton impressed me massively with the way that he got past Joe Cullen on Friday. But both players aren't on a finish yet. So James Wilson is going to have to set himself up from 182 with Andy Bolton back on 196. This would be for a break of throw, remember. He does, so he puts a 1-2 back-to-back 1-2-3 in to leave himself on 59 after 12. Andy Bolton's still back on 196.
So, by the way, if people are asking, and I know you're saying don't leave us and all that sort of stuff, unfortunately, guys, there are other priorities in life. At this moment in time, so I will be. This will be probably one of the last times you'll see me on a stream. I think I will be leaving and heading off into the sunset. Probably, I've got some stuff to do for the seniors because Bardsy's got to go to Cardiff instead. But yeah, no, I'll be sticking around until February, mate. So I will be doing some bits, but not as much. Right, let's have a quick look at. I was just trying to find the prize money because has it changed? I presume it's not. I presume it's still obviously 500 grand for the winner and a 2.5 mil. Right, hang on a minute.
There's lots of love for you in the chat room.
That's a shame. I thought everybody would hate me by now.
Wow. Just before you speak, Andy Bolton's gone 180. James Wilson's gone 180. Wilson's then put another 180 in.
Please.
What will Andy Bolton do? Oh, he can only manage 59. So now's the time. James Wilson. Can he get a 9 darter? And this will be to level the game up. Oh, 127. Again, he's gone a different way to how he did last time, but James Wilson has missed another opportunity I can't even believe that. That's 2 in the first 3 legs of this game.
No, we want a 9.
And it goes in 2. So 2-all in that game. He's brought it back from 2-0 down. But James Wilson having 2 opportunities there. Oh, that would have been incredible.
As you say, we've got 2 games going on at the moment. Peter Hudson against Kieran Team, but we do have one game that we definitely know will be one of the games to qualify for the Worlds. It will be Nick Kenny against Gordon Mathers. That's what it will be. That one will be for a golden ticket to the World Championships. Tell you what, Barzy, if you're in the chat room, do you know what? I'll just check him. Hang on a minute. I just want to say a massive thank you again to our sponsors while we have a second, actually. Windmill, Red Dragon, and to Boyle Sports as well, who'll be working with us throughout the World Championships. Barzy, if you check the private chat, just let me know, because we could run adverts if we needed to. Well, we've got a second here. Just to say a massive thank you once again to our sponsors. We will be back, though, with the games very, very shortly. Mike Dedecker against Boris Kuchmar. Then we've got Andy Bolton against, it'll be Andy Bolton or James Wilson against Boris Kuchmar. And then Nick Kenny against Gordon Mathers. Mike Dedecker against Andy Bolton or James Wilson. Peter Hudson or Kieran Tierney will take on Boris Kuchmar, and then Nick Kenny will take on Gordon Mathers. So we will be back very, very shortly. Indeed, we'll come back for the final 2 games in the top 12, and then we'll be back for the top 6. Who will be making it to Ali Pali? Join us after the break. Very, very warm welcome back then to Online Darts. This is the World Championship Tour Card Holder Qualifier. 93 people are in the draw for the World Darts Championship. Will be taking place at 7:15 this evening GMT, but we need to find the final 3. Jonathan and Charlie Hopper alongside you as we join us back in the chat room. Parla San is with us. Hello, buddy. Very, very warm welcome. Don't forget, of course, that if you haven't already done so, please like the stream and subscribe. It does massive wonders for us. Thank you very much for everybody that's subscribed today as well, because you've helped us get over the 17,000 subscriber mark. We couldn't have done it without you. And this is the reason why we're doing it, Charlie, because people wanted to ask us whether we're going to do a Tour Card Holder Qualifier stream, and we're here now, so we might as well do it.
Too right. Plus, with so many games going on, it's so much easier just to watch it, isn't it? And let it unfold in front of your eyes rather than clicking and missing areas of missing games that you might not get to see. Now, one of the games I'm watching at the moment, it's the only one that I've watched actually, is Andy Bolton against James Wilson. Wilson now needs 56 to level the game up on throw. Andy Bolton sat on 24. So an opportunity here for Andy Bolton if James Wilson misses darts at a double. We'll just wait to see. He does. He misses darts at a double. So this is an opportunity for Andy Bolton to open up a 4-2 lead over the Englishman Wilson. Bearing in mind, if you are just joining us, of course, Wilson has missed 2 opportunities at a 9 perfect darts. And Andy Bolton now misses darts. So both players struggling to get over the line in this one. Wilson will have 3 darts at double 10 to level the game up at 3-all, and it goes in 1. So that game is level 3-3 between Andy Bolton and James Wilson.
Carlos says, hello from New York City. Well, welcome. We cannot wait. Well, I say we. It'll be Barzi that says, thank you very, very we can't wait to be out there in June 2022, hopefully, when a World Series finally goes to Madison Square Garden. We can't wait for it. So we can't wait to be over there, and we hope that you get tickets for it, mate. Boise in the chat room. Hello, good afternoon, buddy. Hope you are well. He will be back with you at 7 o'clock alongside Jack Garwood and Luke Pickering for tonight's World Championship draw. Watch it with us. You know, we'll be talking through initial reactions and everything like that. 7 o'clock is when we will be getting ourselves underway with everything. Join us then for the live lounge at an earlier time, a special edition of the live lounge, including the World Championship draw from 7 o'clock. We're looking forward to that. 7:15 the draw starts. We'll have it all for you, and we'll tell you the draw and watch it all alongside. By the way, if anybody is joining us here at this moment in time, do us a favor on this. We know that there's going to be a bit of a delay potentially from it happening on Sky, because obviously there's delay with streaming and all that sort of stuff. So in the chat room, just don't spoil it, because it's not great for everybody else. Thanks. But anyway, Kieran Tian wants 92 and takes it out. But now Peter Hudson's got the first of 2 opportunities potentially throwing for the match. Garbino says, how has Matt Edgar got on today? Unfortunately, he went out to Nick Kenny. Unfortunately, he will have to go back to Q School. Prime time, unfortunately. Hello from Germany, says Julian. Good afternoon to you. My sister's over there right now working in Frankfurt. Forswagen says, who's the most consistent players at the moment? Also the best average players. Most consistent's interesting. Parson, yes, there will be a Players' Championship final discussion. Definitely. Absolutely.
Just to interrupt you quickly, James Wilson has broken the throw of Andy Bolton and now leads 4 legs to 3. So the Yorker says, come on, Wilson. He is now leading 4-3 and has the darts. Of course, if you didn't know, he's missed darts for 2 9-darters already in this game. So Andy Bolton has it all to do.
Does, yeah. People are saying, like, how did he get 127? I think he might have actually hit double 5 instead of double 12.
Do not say that.
I think he might have done. I think he'd gone triple 20, triple 19, and then hit double 5 instead of double 12. But yeah, Malachi, stop it. No. Now. Garnet says, good morning from Canada. Hello to you. Good morning over there. I don't know what the time is over there. What is it? It's about 9 o'clock probably on the eastern seaboard. So a very warm welcome to you from Canada. Let's talk you through. I'll tell you what we'll do. Barzi, if you want to queue up the game between Andy Bolton and James Wilson, we'll go leg by leg for that in just a moment, because it looks like that Peter Hudson is about to go and win this game against Kieran Tian, although Tian has just hit a 140 to leave 144. It's not for a 9-dart finish, unfortunately, but it could be an opportunity here. He leaves himself on 62 with an 82 visit. Pete Hudson, 150. I would love it if he would go 3 balls. Force Awaken, we will try and answer that in the break between the games, because it is a really difficult question about who the most consistent players are at the moment. But for me, I know he didn't perform brilliantly this weekend, but I'm thinking Johnny Clayton personally. Clayton's probably the most consistent, as Kieran Tian actually goes 5-3 now, so he could be on with an opportunity here to go on a little bit further.
Could, and it's looking like James Wilson is going to have a 2-leg cushion over Andy Bolton. Here, obviously, the one you can see on your screens, and he'll have 6 darts at 20. So this is the opportunity that the Englishman needs to really strengthen his cause as he goes one step closer. And it goes in 1. So 5-3. It's last chance saloon for Andy Bolton. He has to win every leg.
Bolton is, though, secure. I would say he's fine in the tour card race. He's on 54, so he should be absolutely fine. James Wilson would need to win this to try and have any hope of keeping his tour card, and then have a massive, massive run over the next couple of weeks. Where are we looking? Yeah, people talk about Peter Wright. I mean, look, he's been consistent. He made a final of the Slam, and then he's gone and won the Players. That's some decent form. Now, look, Cheetah Wright. That's not there were elements of that game that needs to be talked about. From what we heard in Mineheads, there was more to it than what Lewis put on Twitter. We generally don't know what else happened. Barzi and I. Barzi's been trying to find out for weeks now. Well, it feels like for weeks, probably for a couple of days, but can't find anything. Dylan says, apparently players were complaining about the wind at the Players' Championships. So it wasn't the wind as much. So there's a door on the left. So what you can't see on television, for obvious reasons, is there's a door on the left-hand side. I will come back to that in just a moment, actually, because Kieran Tian wants 156. Now, Pete Hudson now needs 170. I can see in your screen, though, Charlie, that Bolton, that's a big visit for him.
It's a huge visit for him. James Wilson, of course, on 163. I mean, the way Andy Bolton's been playing recently, you wouldn't put it past him to get 102 taken out. But of course, he's got to now hold throw, break the Wilson throw, and then he will. He'll then have darts for the match. So 102, whether he can take this out or not.
Pete Hudson wants 110 to win the match against Kieran Tian. Tian's only got 89 left, so Hudson needs that. But match darts incoming.
Yes, this is 64 now for James Wilson. Can he get over the line? A 6-3 victory would be if he can. If not, Andy Bolton sat on double 16, and he can't. So this is a lifeline for Andy Bolton. Remember, he would then have to break the Wilson throw, and then will be throwing for the match. But these are huge darts coming up. And it goes in 3. So 5-4 for James Wilson leads. He'll then have the darts.
Kieran Tian has just taken out an 89 shot to go within 1, but Peter Hudson is now throwing and kicks off with a max. Carlos, what's the status of the Queen of the Palace? Fallon Sherritt will be back at the Palace where she made history. She will be there. We will find out who she draws later on this afternoon for you, or this evening for us here in the United Kingdom. Going back to the point about the players, then just a quick one while legs are starting to get back down to it. What happened is that so on the left-hand side of the main stage at Butlins, what you can't see is there's a little door on the left-hand side where where members of the PDC, it's where they all walk off down to the stage, and then they walk back through into where their practice room is, the Crazy Horse and whatever, and where we go and interview them. And I think what people were complaining about was that the door on the left-hand side was being open quite a lot. And because obviously it's November and it's bloody freezing, you could feel it. So they actually put heaters on the side of the stage on during the game yesterday. So that's what they were complaining about. But, want to touch on this. Peter Hudson, unfortunately, for all the Kieran Tierney fans in the chat room, he is motoring 180, 60, 180, and he's missed double 12 for the 81. But Kieran Tierney is miles back, 247 now. He needs a big finish. He needs a max, really. It's 100. It's not good enough. Not good enough. Not really any pressure. Peter Hudson wants double 6 for the match, and he is through. The Rock is going to be playing in the World Championship Qualifier. The final game, he takes on Boris Kuchma.
Wow, what a finish this is going to be between James Wilson and Andy Bolton. It's near enough neck and neck, and what the position we were in from the last time. But James Wilson, he's 143 with Andy Bolton sat on 74. And both of these players, the quality that they're at, we can only manage 95. So he sets himself up for 48. Andy Bolton, 74, isn't necessarily the easiest checkout for him, but this will be to break the Wilson throw, and he can't. Oh, is that a missed dart at a double? And James Wilson now will come back for 48 to round off an impressive 6-4 victory over Andy Bolton. He missed darts in the last leg. Can he get over the line? He can. Oh, this is a lifeline for Andy Bolton. It was last chance saloon for him, and this would be to break the throw. And it goes in one. So Andy Bolton, from 5-3 down, has brought it back to 5-all and will have the darts in the noble leg to get one step closer to the world champs.
This is a big leg for James Wilson, not just for the World Championships, as we keep saying. This is a big leg because he has to win it. Otherwise, Biscuit will be back to Q School. Appreciate as well, if you could like the stream, can we get to 100 likes? That's what I'd like. That's what I'd like. That's what I like. What other Bruno was. So if we can get to that, that'd be brilliant. But we are into a last leg shootout between Andy Bolton and James Wilson. The winner of this will get a chance to play Mike the Decker for the chance to go to the Palace in December. To call it in, Charlie, this is all yours.
What a game it's been. I still can't believe we didn't see a 9 from James Wilson, to be honest. He's come so close. And he puts in a 180. So it's advantage James Wilson in this one. Andy Bolton can only manage 99 and 96. So he's still a way back. Again, 99. So it's advantage Wilson. He'll have 6 darts from 181. The Yorker says, yes, great darts. And this will be huge for Wilson if he can set this up. I can only manage 60, so not amazing. A big ton 40 plus from Andy Bolton would really put the pressure on. See what he can manage. His scoring has been off in the game so far.
Oh.
No, not a 29. So 6 darts again for James Wilson from 121. Doesn't have to take it out. He can just set this up. Can the Englishman get over the line, having been 5-3 up? Ooh, 97. 97 to leave himself on double 12. Andy Bolton can only set it up and hope and pray. And here we go. Match darts incoming for James Wilson. Can he get over the line against Andy Bolton? And he does. It goes in 1. James Wilson has got the job done against Andy Bolton, 6-5.
He has. So we have our final 3 games are decided. It will be Mike De Decker against James Wilson, Boris Kuchma against Peter Hudson, and Nick Kenny against Gordon Mathers. 3 of those men will be taking the final 3 spots for the William Hill World Darts Championship that starts on December the 15th. You'll be able to watch it, all the rest of it as you know, on all the favorite platforms and all the rest of it as well. And don't forget that we'll have reaction from everything from Ali Pally. Every winner that we can get, we'll get them for you. We'll also be producing the Fallout bar every single night. Jack Gobby Garwood, I bet you can't wait for 16 days of the Fallout bar. So you can join us for that throughout every night of action from the for the Worlds. We'll be reacting to every day and every session at Ali Pally. Don't forget as well that you can subscribe right now to the show. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much to everybody that's done so this afternoon to get us over 17,000 subscribers. And as well, we'll be producing live blogs for you as well. I'll be doing some preview pieces as well, like we normally do. I won't be doing an analysis piece on right winning the other players because, let's be honest about it, the big story today will be the draw, and you can watch along with us with the draw. We will be live. If you don't know, normally comes to the channel. If you are just joining us here for the first time ever on Online Darts, we normally have this show called the Live Lounge. It happens every single Monday at 8 o'clock. We normally do at 8 o'clock UK time. We normally do a week in darts. You normally react to everything and preview stuff, and it's normally with Phil Bars, Jack Gobby-Garwood, and Lee Boyce. Phil, who's producing for us this afternoon, is actually in Newcastle to hopefully get us some great stuff as well for before the World Championships. What we're looking to do tonight is start the Live Lounge an hour earlier than normal. So come back here in around 4.5 hours' time, 7 o'clock GMT. Jack Gobby-Garwood, Lee Boyce, and Luke Pickering. They will be doing the World Championship draw. They'll be watching along the World Championship draw. They won't be doing it. It'll be Wayne Mardle and Colin Lloyd on Sky Sports News. The draw itself takes place at 7:15 tonight. 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock, we will be live for the Live Lounge, including the World Championship draw. Plus, there'll be a reaction as well to the Players' Championship finals. Peter Wright and Ryan Searle. If you haven't already watched Peter Wright and Ryan Searle's winners and runners-up interviews, you can watch them right now on the YouTube channel, Online Darts. Just click on it and then come back to us for the start of the action. Well, we have a few minutes, actually. Let's go into the chat room. I haven't really been looking at the chat room much because there's been that much drama going on, but we should be done in around about 40 minutes' time is probably the right thing. So we'll probably be done by 3 o'clock this afternoon. So if you are joining us, thank you very, very much. And like I say, especially if you're one of the new subscribers that has helped us get over that 17K mark, thank you very much indeed. Put your questions in the chat room. Put your questions in the chat room and we will try and answer some of them. Charlie's just nipped off for a few minutes. He'll be joining us in just a moment. But yeah, that's where we are. We're down to 6 players. That is it. 6 of them. We started with 45. We're down to 6. Big, big moments coming up in the World Championships. The final 3 spots. I can't believe it. Christmas is coming up very, very short, very, very soon. And we will be covering it, as we say, throughout the afternoon and into the evening as well. We'll be there. Barzy will be getting withdrawal symptoms from the fantastic place that is the Ali Pally. He's like the big brother house to him. Craig, prediction for Washington tonight. Oh, don't say that, buddy. I hope to God we win. I just don't think we will, but I hope to God we can keep these W's coming. Barzy, it's not Christmas. As soon as the first dart goes in at Ali Pally, Christmas is here. You know this. We discussed this yesterday. Why did Baggish pull out? Ollie asks. No idea. I'm not too sure of that one at all. Dan says, excuse me. I tell you what, if I haven't caught COVID from this weekend, there's no way I'll have caught COVID because Minehead was an interesting one. What does he say? Fantastic coverage. Thank you very, very much indeed. Do you think we'll have a new world champion come January the 4th? Depends on what you mean by that. Do I think that Gerwin Price will defend the world championship? No. Do I think that we will have a first-time world champion? No, I do not. Personally. I'm not too sure, but we'll come to Charlie in that one in just a moment as well. Jeff asks, would it be fair if Lisa would keep a tour card till she qualified through the Women's Series? I don't think so. Look, we had this argument quite a lot really on the Live Lounge, Jeff. I'll be brutally honest with you. I personally don't think it's right that players on any tour get a chance to go and qualify for a Worlds or through everything else through a separate way. So, say for instance, Mardus Razma has gone through and has qualified through which way is he qualified in? He's qualified the Nordic and Baltic route. He's a Pro Tour holder. I don't think that Pro Tour players should be allowed to go and play on other tours. For me, it doesn't make sense. Same way, with Schindler qualifying through the Super League, I'm not really particularly too fan of that either. Jess Smith coming through the Continental Cup. If you're good enough to qualify for the Pro Tour Order of Merit, then you should. If you're good enough to qualify on the Pro Tour, you should be good enough to play and get through on the Order of Merit that way. You shouldn't have to go and get a second chance. For me, it doesn't make sense. But I understand the reasons why that the PDC do it, because if they do it that way, it gives them an opportunity to try and market the sport a little bit better. And players that are playing on the Pro Tour will give the Pro Tour Order of Merit players a bit better of a game sometimes. So there we go. Where are we? Lee Boy says Ricky Evans versus Lawrence Alar going to be a lot of fun. By the time that Lawrence finishes throwing and by the time he's picked the darts out the board, he'll be ready to go. I don't know. Boy, that'd be interesting. Force Awakens, do you think Adrian Lewis will get back to winning ways again? Again, it depends on what you would class as winning ways. Do I think that he's got an opportunity to go and do bits and maybe win a title again? I don't think he'll be a world champion again. But I think he could potentially win something like a UK Open. Yeah. Because it all depends on the draw that you get. Players' Championships, he should have knocked Peter Wright out. He had matched darts. So, it's one of those really. Oh, good afternoon, Charlie. Welcome back.
Oh.
Who would I want Barney to have in the draw, Raven Effect? That's a very good question, actually. I'd like to have him have John Nortman Jr., just because he would piss him off. Now, in all seriousness, right? I know a lot of people think that I hate Barney. I don't. Sorry, I just dropped a pen there for a second. I don't hate Barney before anybody says I do. I don't, because he was the reason why I got into darts. I'm just not necessarily sure that he came back to the sport for the right reasons. That's all I'm going to say. There were other pressures as to why he came back. He didn't miss the competition. Let's put it that way. Where is it? I'd like to see him play John Norman Jr. That'd be a really fun game. That would be, to be honest. Fabian says, "What do you expect from the German players at the World Championships?" Well, I'm hoping. And you can come in once you finish on this. Once you finish with your chocolate animals again, Charlie. But Gabe Clements kicks on because he beat Peter Wright last time out, and at the World Championships ended his reign, and he was very, very close to doing so again. He was very, very close to going a bit further as well in the World Championships. I'm hoping that we see another side of Gabe, of the big German. I'm also going to look at Florian Hempel. I've always liked to look at Florian Hempel. I think he's absolutely sensational. Schmutzler, I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about him apart from what he did on the Dev Tour in Europe. And Shindiggity, we can hit high averages for fun.
Gabe Clements really has impressed me this year. I think he's so consistent in the way that he plays. But
voice.
Him and Florian Hempel have both impressed me really, and I think we're underway on one of the games already.
We are indeed. We are. Boris Kuchma against Peter Hudson has just started, so we're going to go to that one in just a moment. SS Dart says he still needs to make money, so what's your problem with him coming back for that? I've got no issue with it. I just don't want him to lie about it. Well, not lie. Lie's a strong word. I don't want him to try and stretch the truth a little bit, because he probably did miss the competition. But at the same time, if the Expo circuit was there, would we be seeing Raymond van Barneveld back here? Probably not. The only reason why I think he's back, and of course he's got to make money. I totally understand that. But I don't know whether now he's thinking, maybe I should have held out, because if he had have held out, would you expect Charlie? Would he be in the seniors tour lineup right now? Yeah, he would be. Taylor and Van Barneveld back at the Circus Tavern after 15 years.
Yeah.
Be brilliant. Yeah, when it says I want to see King versus Lim, that would only work if Merv plays, if Paulin comes through the Pro Tour Order Merit Qualifier. Jarlath's dog is called Barney, his son will be named Raymond. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Do you know what? If I did name my son Raymond, I'd have to tag him in that, wouldn't I? Really, let's be honest about that. Where is this now? I've got an RVB shrine in my house. Yeah, that's exactly what I've got. Right. Boris Kuchmar against Peter Hudson has just started up, as has Nick Kenny and Gordon Mathers. Really looking forward to that. Parla San, Jarla's favourite song is I Had a Target. It's actually not a bad tune, to be fair. I actually quite like I Had a Target. I think it's a really good song. Who do I think wins the Worlds? I'll be honest with you. I know it sounds stupid, and I know maybe I probably will come back to bite me on the arse, but I think MVG wins it. I think the reason why I think that Michael van Gerwen wins this tournament, Charlie, is because in games, in leg play, you get punished for having the off legs. Set play is massively different because you could theoretically you could win more legs than your opponent does and lose the match. That's the reason why set play is so beautiful. That's the reason why I love set play. So that's the reason why I think Michael van Gerwen, because for me, if he has those off legs, that's fine, and offsets because he can then reset. That's my only thing.
Yeah, I agree. I love set play. And I think I'd love to see MVG get over the line in one. I keep saying that he will. I keep haggling on about it and saying that he's going to get there eventually. And I think he will. With both games have had a leg opener already. Boris Kirchmann and Nick Kenny have both taken the lead against Gordon Mathers and Peter Hudson, respectively. But yeah, look, MVG is going to win one eventually, isn't he? It's going to happen. But it's just at the point of when, and I'd really hope that the Worlds is the one, because he just seems to be going far, and then it just doesn't seem to click, or he comes up against someone who sort of outplays him.
Dark horse for the Worlds says, who was it? Tornado, Tommy Tornado. Dark horse for the Worlds. You know what? Dark horse for the World Championships. I know it sounds silly because he's just made a final, but Ryan Searle's obviously been doing bits.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But do you know what? Yeah, sod it. Go on, I'll say it. Keep an eye on Luke Humphreys. He loves this tournament. I think he could do stuff.
He does have good runs in the tournament, doesn't he? Andrew Kinsman says Dobie. I don't think.
How did Dobie lose that game on Friday night?
Right. You can't. No. We're not talking about that game. Gob does not want to hear about that game.
Unlucky.
We can't talk about that game.
Unlucky. Unlucky. Where is it? Barzi, have you got the clip in the back end?
Unlucky. He's not.
Thank you.
Nick Kenny's levelled up against Gordon Mathers, and Boris Kirchmann now looks like he's going to take the third leg, against Peter Hudson.
Martin Decker and James Wilson just getting underway as well on board one. Gary Anderson, people's dark horses. Again, this is the thing about Gando, we're talking about this. I didn't ask about Vincent van der Voort's attitude against Johnny in the court. It seemed like he gave up. Well, I don't think he gave up. I think he just realised it just wasn't going to be his afternoon. And he's double hitting towards the first part of the game. To be fair, though, Johnny's double hitting towards the first part of the game was absolutely bobbins, and he can admit that himself. But it just didn't really work for him. Going back to Gando, it all depends on which Gando turns up. If he wants to play and wants to play well, yeah, I'll give you that. If he doesn't, he won't. Good point, Philip asks. Does it help Kuchmar and Decker this qualifier that they already came through the Slam qualifier? It's a good point. I don't know. I mean, they've done it once, so yeah, maybe do it again. But I'm not too sure.
I can't believe Malachi says Dobie knew he would ruin Jack Sacker.
I hope not. Are we far away from a 128 field for the world? Yes. Yes, we are. Okay.
Boris Kirchmar is really struggling to get over the line here against Peter Hudson. He's been given plenty of opportunities and he just can't get over the line. Wilson leads Mike De Decker 1 leg to nil. He's held throw in that one. So some games starting to get going now as we approach the final stages. And yeah, Kirchmar gets the job done. 2-1 he leads now against Peter Hudson.
Right, so yeah, say Nick Kenny 2-1 up on Gordon Mathers. Looks like a decent game between those two at this moment in time. Also, yeah, 96 is enough. Don't need more than that. I agree. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was quite happy with it for 64, but you know, as we've always said, Barry likes a pound note. So there we go. Andrew says, if Peter Wright wins the world, is he the new world number 1? No, because it all depends on how far Gezi goes. So at this moment in time, because obviously 500 grand's coming off his ranking, Snaky, if Gezi makes round 4 of the Worlds, yes. If Gezi makes to round 4 of the World Championships, Peter Wright cannot be the world number 1 at the end of the week, at the end of the tournament. Again, Gezi needs to make round 4 to secure the world number 1 status, because then if he doesn't, MVG can't be world number 1 regardless of whether he wins the Worlds. Okay, so Snaky has to win the Worlds and hope that Gezi Price gets beaten early doors. You've got to be gone by the last 32 stages. If he gets the last 16, then that's it. He will still the same world number 1. Dylan, do I think Michael Smith will ever win the TV major? He's got the game. He's got the talent. Do I think he's got the bottle? That's the question. I don't know. After the Masters of 2020, I don't know. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Peter Hudson is sat now on double top against Boris Kirchmar. This is to level the game up, to keep on throwing that one. Peter Hudson doesn't take it out. Mike De Decker's leveled up against James Wilson, so that game is 1-1. And they're just starting to progress nicely. No one's really taken the lead in any game, as Kirchmar looks like he's missed darts at a double to take a 3-1 lead. Peter Hudson will come back for double 10, and this would be, it goes in 2, so Peter Hudson has levelled up the game there. It's 2-2 there, and Mike De Decker is 1-1 with James Wilson.
Indeed. So Nick Kenny going on right now against Gordon Mathers. I'll take that game. It will be Mike De Decker and James Wilson, then Boris Kirchmar against Peter Hudson. Charlie is going to take for us, but Gordon Mathers looks like he's on a break opportunity in the 5th leg against Nick Kenny. Kenny's on 164 after 12, but Gordon Mathers has gone 140, ton, 180 to leave 81 after 9. Big opportunity, and he takes it out in 3 darts. So Gordon Mathers now averaging 105 and has got the break of throw. Any truth in the rumours Jackpot is changing his walkout tutor from the floorboards up by Paul Weller. Very good. Very good. Wouldn't surprise me after this week, to be fair. And fair play. After the rant on Twitter, he actually did say that the cards that the PDC graphics team made, it should be made as a limited edition and donated to charity. So fair play to him for that. High Brexit probably against Price, potentially in the 3rd round. Interesting. The testosterone on that stage could be interesting.
What happened between him and it looked a little bit feisty. I don't know whether there was anything between him and Eddie Lewis on, was it Friday? Was it Saturday they played?
Yeah.
It was
Friday afternoon. I think it just looked like the fact of Kim just doesn't like losing, which is fair enough. Like a professional sports.
I didn't know whether it was Eddie's celebrations that kind of like was just like, do you know what?
I like it. You've taken out the 127 and the 114. You've got every right to celebrate.
He gave it large, didn't he?
Yeah, love it.
Boris Kirchmar sat on double 10 to re-establish his 3-2 lead. Mike De Decker is now looking like he might break James Wilson. or hold throw, sorry, but then Wilson comes in with a 177. So they're pretty much neck and neck. There's only 2 points separating them as Kirchmar takes out double 10 in 2 and leads 3-2 against Peter Hudson. So we're still on throw in that one.
Nick Kenny's just set up beautifully, double 14 with a 139 to leave 28 after 12, and he's going to get a go at it because Gordon Mathers cannot take out 79. So Nick Kenny with an opportunity now to break back and make it 2-3 apiece. Big darts coming in for Nick Kenny. Opportunity, and he's missed. He's gone inside on 14s and 7s. Oh dear.
Yeah.
So Gordon Mathers wants tops, and he's missed.
Wow, so there's missed darts everywhere. James Wilson's on a ton.
Nick Kenny wants 7. And he takes it out, 2 darts. 3 apiece. We are back level.
Yeah, and Mike Dedecker's on 52. This is only to level the game up. He can't take it. So James Wilson has a break opportunity. This would be to break the throw of Mike Dedecker and go 3-1 up. Wilson sat on double 10. Stay with me just to see whether this goes. If it doesn't, it's double 8 for Mike Dedecker. That would be to level the game up. This is for a break of throw. Wilson can't take it out. So Mike Dedecker is sat on double 8. And this would be to level the game up at 2 apiece on my board, and it goes in 2. I mean, Dylan makes a good question, puts a good question in the chat room about whether they'll stop the booing and whistling, like what's happened with Price and Wright. I mean, what do you kind of think? What do you feel about that?
I was going to let you go first because I was going to have a swig of orange juice. So you go first. Go on.
I personally don't. I don't personally agree with it, to be honest, but I think that's probably just myself. I mean, look, you know, you can't. The crowd pay their money, so they can do whatever they want to do. If they want to boo Price, and Price gives it large as well. Price gives it back at the crowd. So if you give it, you've got to be able to take it. But I don't think it I wouldn't say it massively affects players too much. But you know, it's darts, isn't it? It happens.
Look, the PDC reap what they sow. Okay. Can you tell, by the way, that I'm going to be jumping out now, so I can basically say what I like? The PDC reap what they sow, right? They spent the last 20, 25 years cultivating darts, the ultimate night out. You see, I mean, before I started covering the sport, you see things in the crowd and all the rest of it. Sometimes at events, I mean, we've seen the videos from Ali Pali, that idiot who was walking on the frigging tables.
Yeah.
Like, what you reap what you sow. If you organise something and advertise something basically as a glorified, you know, for fans to go and get absolutely smashed, you reap what you sow. The fans can do what they like. And the booing started well before then. The best of all the nonsense gone way out the window. As soon as they started doing it in big arenas, because they needed to grow the game. So, you know, you look at that World Championship final between Barney and Taylor. It was absolute silence in the tavern because it's an intimate venue. You can always work out who it is who's calling out. When you've got an arena of 3,500 people at Ali Pali singing "Don't Take Me Home" and all the rest of it, what do you expect? You know, it's always going to when you've got that. Look, as I say, the PDC reap what they sow. I mean, even Blackpool this year. I mean, and I like Blackpool, but I think that Blackpool's become even worse this year. This is the worst Blackpool I think I've ever known. The match play, the crowd's not going to change, unfortunately, though, because that's the atmosphere the PDC cultivated. It's as simple and as plain as that. If you want to go to watch proper darts, if you want to go and watch it in silence, doesn't also look good on TV though.
Yeah, just
quickly
on what's progressing nicely in these games. James Wilson has held throw against Mike Dedecker and has opened up with a 1-2-3 from Mike Dedecker's 96. Boris Kirchmar is now 2 legs ahead of Peter Hudson. He leads 4-2. So we're really now at the business end of this afternoon, and it's only a few legs away.
So Nick Kenny has just missed the dart to go and break the throw, but Gordon Mathers has also missed this. And Nick Kenny breaks. It's now 5-3. 5-3 to Nick Kenny. He's so close to the World Championships. So close. No, agreed. Agreed, Parlosan. I'm not saying either as well. Like, again, you saying you do what you like doesn't mean you have to be an absolute arsehole for no reason. I totally agree with you. But again, when you've seen what it's like, and people always say to me, "Oh, do you like the darts because of the drinking?" No, I don't. I like the darts because it's a great sport to watch. But again, when you're in that, when you've cultivated that environment, what do you expect to happen? It's like, I don't know. It's like cheating on. It's like cheating on a partner, and then not expecting, and then when they leave, they're like, "What are you leaving for? You've reaped what you sowed." Like, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't honestly surprise most people. I don't think it does anymore. But anyway, right, here we go. It is 5-3 to Nick Kenny. 3-3 between Mike Decker and James Wilson. Boris Kuchmar's 2 legs away from the World Championships as well against Peter Hudson. 4-3. Right. So Nick Kenny wants 161. Gordon Mathers is miles away. So 161 for Nick Kenny. If you don't mind, stay with me, because Nick Kenny could be about to go within one of the match. Remember, it's first to 7 now at this final stage. So Nick Kenny could be about to go within one of the match. Kenny on 31. Gordon Mathers is on 179, nowhere near a finish, and takes it out in 2. Gordon Mathers has got to now win 4 legs on the spin.
Yeah, Peter Hudson has brought back against Boris Kuchmar. Kuchmar's now 4-3 he leads, so his lead was 4-2 in a race for 7. Mike Dedeker and James Wilson are locked at 3 apiece. Wilson with the darts in that one.
Can I just say really quickly, Billy, talking about, hearing a lot of you calling it out, yet not offering no solutions. There is none. There is none. What are you going to do? Ban alcohol at the darts? No one will go. Well, 90% of the crowd will not go. It's a lot of dart, especially Premier League nights, from what I've seen, and I've been to a lot of them in the crowd are, a lot of them are majority football fans. I'm not saying it's all of them, but a lot of them are majority football fans. And at football, you can't, in the UK, you can't drink in the crowd. You can't drink while watching a football match live. It's illegal to be watching a football match with a drink at the professional level. Whereas at darts, you can. I'm not saying that everybody who goes there is a football fan or whatever, but a large majority, particularly on the Premier League nights, do. And because of that, you're not going to get people in the crowd, and it's going to look crap on television if you ban alcohol for the darts. But it's the only way you're going to get people stop this sort of stuff. I'm just, again, Dan, you're talking about calling a game shot and all the rest of it. Calling the referees to tell them to call it out as well. Calling out 10,000 people to try and stop in Rotterdam. No, it won't happen. It just won't happen. But what could be happening right now is Nick Kenny has just hit a 177 to lead tops. Nick Kenny, though, misses 3 match darts, 3 darts for the golden ticket. Gordon Mathers, 150 to save his skin. Can't do it. Leaves himself on 94. Nick Kenny, the Welshman's time is now. 3 more match darts. To go back to the World Championships for the 2nd straight year, and it takes it out. Last start in hand. Nick Kenny is going to the Palace for the 2nd straight year. He beats Gordon Mathers in a really good game, 7 legs to 3, and Nick Kenny is number 94 in the World Qualifier, in the World Darts Championship qualification spot.
Yeah, and who will be joining him? Well, it looks as if Boris Kuchmar is just about cracked Peter Hudson. He leads 5 legs to 3, and he's got about 201 points ahead of Peter Hudson. And this would just be for a hold of throw, remember, to go 6-3 up, but then he'd have to, obviously, he'd just have to wait until his throw comes back if he wasn't to break him. Mike Dedeker has broken James Wilson as well. He's 4-3 up with the darts. So these games are starting to take a turn now and who will join Nick Kenny?
If you want, I will take one of the games. You can have whichever one.
I'll take Mike De Decker if you want. If you want to have Boris,
I'll have big bad Boris with a chance to save his tour card, and he goes and takes it for 6-3. He's one leg away from potentially saving his tour card today. Force Awaken, what about more senior darts? Yeah, Lakeside's going to happen sooner rather than later as well. Obviously, the World Seniors Masters is going to be happening in May. We're going to be there for that. Yeah, I think the seniors tour is only just going to only go one way. To be honest with you, Charlie.
Yeah, definitely. And you'd love to see more of that, wouldn't you? Really, on across the year. James Wilson's on 200, so he's only managed a ton. So Mike De Decker with 109, and this would be to open up a gap of 2 legs against Wilson. But of course, Wilson, who would need a break at some point. De Decker leaves 32 with Wilson back on a ton. So a really big stage in this leg, you feel. If De Decker can take this leg, he'll lead 5-3, and Wilson can only leave himself. So Wilson only manages 60. So it's now down to De Decker, double 16 to open up a 5-3 lead over James Wilson and go within 2. And he can't. He misses double. He misses his doubles, and Wilson will come back to retake or to re-establish his game, to take it back level, and he does in 2. Back to you, Jarl.
Boris Kuchma is 121 points away from potentially saving his tour card. He's gone 140, 140, 100. The Rock Peter Hudson has left himself on 128 after 12. Boris sets you up reasonably nicely on 64. Remember, Nick Kenny, if you're just joining us, we're coming to the business end. These 2 games will determine the 95th and 96th and final members of the World Darts Championship field. Peter Hudson, I think has just missed double 15. Boris Kuchma now on 64, and big bad Boris is going back to the palace. Get in. I love Boris Kuchma so much. He has managed to come through a cracking day. He hit 121 average in his first game against John Brown and has not looked back. Boris Kuchma has potentially, with that win, just saved his tour card. He has got himself an extra 7.5 grand on it. And boy, oh boy, is that massive. I've just checked it. He's gone to £50,000. That should be enough. I'm calling it. Boris Kuchma has just saved his tour card.
Wow, what incredible drama. Mike De Decker against the throws gone 99, 85, 140. James Wilson has gone 139, 140, 140 and has left himself on double top. So this is to go 5-4 up to hold throw. And the James Wilson fans out there, hold your breath, because this is to take the lead, and he does. So James Wilson is 2 away from the world champs. Mike De Decker still has it all to do, but what a finish we have got in store.
Indeed. We are going to, there you go. We are now live, as you can see, with the results here, and we can watch this game. This is the big one. We have got 95 of the 96 left spots filled. We have 1 spot more. Mike De Decker goes and hits a 140. Big stuff there from Mike De Decker. Now, what can James Wilson do? On the throw, remember, he's on throw. Is Mike De Decker to try and level this game up at 5 apiece. It would go to a best of 3 for the final spot in the World Darts Championship. Remember, the draw takes place at 7:15 GMT this evening. Jack Gobby-Garwood, Lee Boyce and Luke Pickering will be watching along with you at 7 o'clock tonight. The live lounge will begin. Join us for that.
Get your alarm set.
Yeah,
make sure you James Wilson, what a time to put a maximum in. And now the pressure is on Mike De Decker, so you feel like De Decker needs to at least give him a chance. And this is huge. for the James Wilson fans. What a time this would be for him in the last game this afternoon. And the Yorker, yeah, come on, my son. As Mike Dedecker now, I think he's missed a dart at a double there. James Wilson will come back, and this is to go within one leg of the world champs. He's 12. I presume he'd go 12 double top, as Wilson now needs 52 to take a 2-leg lead. Can he take control of this game against Mike Dedecker? He can't. He misses darts at a double. Dedecker will come back for double 7, and that goes in 1. So we have a level game here in the last game of the Tour Card Holder qualifier for the World Champs. And James Wilson now, it's first to 7, so best of 3. What a game, as Wilson only opens with 60. So no treble visit there for James Wilson. What can Dedecker find? He manages 96. As Juanita leaves us. She goes for a couple of hours of sleep. See you at 3 a.m. Perth Aussie time, as Wilson comes in with a ton. So what an opportunity this is for the Englishman, as Mike Dedecker only manages 96. So still, the game is on the edge. As Wilson manages another ton. So back-to-back tons from James Wilson. And Mike Dedecker now about 68 points behind Wilson. So big 2 treble visit would be massive for him. Wow, that is incredible from Mike Dedecker to leave himself on 138. Wilson needs to get on a finish. Here we go. Dedecker has left himself on 80. So a bit of a slack visit there from him. Wilson, 141 would be tasty. It would be very tasty, and what a time to get it if James Wilson can check this out. He can't. And here we go. Mike Dedecker. Which way are you going? Can you take the lead in the final game? He can't. Oh.
Wow. Wow.
You, James Wilson. Back to you. Can you take the lead and go 1 away from the world champs? He can. He goes in 2. So Wilson has 1 in the world champs, but can Dedecker spoil the party? He needs to reel off 2 legs. What a finish we've got here.
Certainly do. Mike Dedecker only starting off though with 60. What can James Wilson do now?
It's honestly, just look through the chat room at the Yorker.
He loves it.
He does every time.
He loves it.
And something goes bad, it's just no, and then it's just a yes.
We're glad that people are starting here. This is it, and this is the last spot in the World Darts Championships up for grabs. What can James Wilson or Mike Dedecker do here? If you're just joining us, and appreciate people are, Nick Kenny is through to the World Darts Championship. He is going to be there for the 2nd straight year. Also through to the World Darts Championship is Big Bad Boris Kuchma. Yes, more of this. Can't wait. He has basically saved his tour card with that. Appearance at the World Championships, 1st round. Can't wait. James Wilson is 1 leg away from doing just that again.
Yeah,
what's going to happen here?
I think he's got 6. Well, he has. He's got 6 darts at 130 here, so he doesn't need to take it out I mean, it would be incredible if he did, but he could just set this up nicely with the Decker back on 210. What an opportunity this is for James Wilson, who leaves himself on double 18. Mike De Decker is back on 210. So James Wilson fans, hold your breath. Oh, so Decker comes in with a 134. That's pressure. This is huge for James Wilson. Can he do it to round off the qualifier?
Big dart.
And it does. It goes in 3.
Romeo done.
That is it. We are Romeo done. We are Romeo done for the World Darts Championship. It is going to be Nick Kenny, Boris Kuchma, and James Wilson are all going to be at the Alexandra Palace. That is the 94 to 96 done. Charlie, what an afternoon we've had.
What an afternoon. You know, early doors, some of the averages from the players were incredible. And I thought Matthew Edgar was going to do it at one point. He was so close, but you know, look, that's it. That sort of sets us up nicely now for the draw in a couple of hours' time, and we know we'll have to see and react to how that comes out.
We will indeed. Don't forget to join us on the live lounge tonight. Jack Gobigar with Lee Boyce and Luke Pickering, 4 hours time, 7 o'clock GMT for that. And the World Championship draw is at 7:15 tonight. So make sure that you join us. The live lounge is an hour earlier than normal. Join us for the live lounge. We'll be reacting to the live draw. We'll also be reacting to everything from the Players' Championship finals, including, yes, that clip from Adrian Lewis and Peter Wright, and also all the reactions as well from Ted Evans winning the World Youth Championship as well. Charlie, thank you so much for your afternoon and for taking the time out, mate. Hope you stay safe.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, it's been a great afternoon, and fingers crossed for a good draw tonight.
We will see you back here at 7 o'clock. Join Jack Gobigar with Lee Boyce and Luke Pickering. But from myself, Jonathan Eaton and Charlie Hopper, thanks for watching. This has been the World Championship Qualifier in Online Darts. Take it easy.